before. We all know the story. Oh, here comes the meanie.
Oh, yeah.
Mean Joe Green.
Yep.
The slave.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Village of Ruidoso Council meeting. If you would, please take a seat if you can. And now that I've asked you to take a seat, will you please rise and we'll have a moment of silence and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
All right, thank you. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming in today. The weather's beautiful. Hopefully you've been paying attention to all the political forums. We have another one tomorrow night for the real estate, and then another one the following night, Thursday, at the Convention Center with the Republican Party. So thank you for being tuned in. Can we have a roll call, please, ma'am?
Mayor Crawford.
Here.
Councilor Eby.
Here.
Councilor Letterman.
Here.
Councilor Salas.
Here.
Councilor Hooker.
Here.
Councilor Jackson.
Here.
Councilor Corey.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Can I get a motion for approval of today's agenda, giving the chair the ability to move?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the agenda be approved as presented and allow the chair to move items for discussion at will.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Councilor Jackson.
Aye.
Councilor Hooker.
Aye.
Councilor Corey.
Aye.
Councilor Salas.
Aye.
Councilor Letterman.
Aye.
Councilor Eby.
All right, thank you, everybody. We'll go on for the consent of regular items. Item number 1 is approval of governing body minutes, January 13th, 2026 regular meeting, January 27th, 2026 special meeting, January 27th, 2026 special emergency meeting, January 27th through the 28th, 2026 strategic planning workshop meeting, February the 3rd, 2026 workshop meeting. And we told you there's only one meeting a month.
Yep.
Yeah, lied to you. Now, item number 2, approval of amendment to Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, between the Village of Ruidoso as fiscal agent for Lincoln County Ruidoso DWI program and the Village of Ruidoso as administrative authority for the Ruidoso Police Department for DWI enforcement and reimbursement of costs, increasing the amount to $10,000 for the period between July the 1st, 2025 and May 31st, 2026. Item number 3, approval of task order number 2019-008 P-AECOM-01 with AECOM Technical Services, Inc. for Alto Lake Dam Alternatives Analysis Evaluation and Design Scope in the amount of $343,690.00, including New Mexico GRT. Item number 4, approval of proposal with from Rymark Construction, Inc. for the Apache Hills Waterline Project, excavating and installing new 6-inch C900 PVC water lines and tying into existing lines, utilizing New Mexico GSD statewide price agreement number 30-50-23-3-70 in the amount of $89,030.17, including New Mexico GRT. Item number 5, approval of task order number 2026-001P, number 1, with Stantec Consulting Services for professional engineering services on flood damage infrastructure, including PW19, Alto Dam pedestrian bridge footing design, PW62, Two Rivers Park culvert replacement, and guardrail replacement in the amount of $216,200 $211.63, including New Mexico GRT. Number 6, approval of rental purchase agreement between the Village of Ruidoso and Caterpillar Financial Services Corporation for a Caterpillar 420 backhoe and Caterpillar 926 wheel loader for solid waste transfer station for a term of 48 months in the amount of $79,820.00 a year, including New Mexico GRT.
Mayor, I move the consent regular items be approved as read.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
All right, thank you, everyone. Now we'll move on to public input. It's limited. You want to go ahead and tell them what the rules are there, Mayor Pro Tem?
Sure. Public input is limited to 5 minutes for each presenter. You can speak on anything on the agenda or off the agenda, but we ask you to be courteous, no name bashing or complaining of the roads. But there is a time limit. I'll give you 2 minutes warning, and state your name and your address when you come up to the mic. Thank you.
All right, Bill Hall, come on down. You're the first contestant today in that worthless New England Patriots shirt. They almost got a 0, but they slipped it out.
I will remind the council that the Patriots have lost more Super Bowls than Dallas will ever win.
That's
Some big
undeniable
words
truth,
there.
yeah.
And what car were you driving today?
The one that's keyed out in the lot. Good afternoon, guys and girls. This is, again, my favorite time of the month. One of the things wanted to certainly push again with the track going away a couple weeks ago on Monday with the mayors, heard about getting alternative events and things. I'll push for the dual use with disc golf potential at the links. With the track gone, you know, I'm guessing the links is going to see a downcrease in revenue, so this might be even cheaper to consider as an alternative. But the other thing I wanted to talk about today, something got me thinking, since we looking at the renewable fuels plants, but are there other ways to potentially generate what I'll call mailbox money? And this is a thought I had, and looking at, I know we've got regular items, you've got numbers 3 and 4 coming up with MAP funding and COOP funding. And if you look at that total for that highway work, it's like $789,000, and the 25% match is $197,000. At $92 an ASP for asphalt, that means you've got to provide roughly 2,100 tons of asphalt, which gets me to the asphalt plant. You know, we struggle with keeping employees, keeping specialized skill employees. One of the things, and I know there are challenges to looking at it, do we need to continually run that as a public entity? Should we look at a private partnership? Yes, there are challenges with permits and all that sort of thing, but this happens all the time when companies buy something else. And here's where I'm thinking where it could be mailbox money. Certainly, as I said, if you looked at a private operator or a private sale, you can negotiate in the terms of that sale, what you need for matching tons. You can negotiate a price or a tonnage from them. You can also look at a negotiated price for what you've used for your average last 5 years of your asphalt plant. I've done this in the past with stone agreements with concrete companies when we've bought and sold them. And the other thing you look at, and here's the mailbox money, if it's a private entity, their incentive is to push tons through it. If you get a 15% royalty on just 100,000 tons of asphalt in a year, that's about $1.3 million. That money could easily go into the rest of the Public Works Department for equipment that we know we need to replace. So it's a thought. Is it something that we should look at? I think you should look at it and do a financial analysis and try to figure out, if it's not 100,000 tons, what if it was only 50,000 tons? And could you get an agreement with a private contractor to guarantee a certain tonnage? It's just a different way. And then you don't have to look at it. You can redeploy employees to things like water and sewer, which we know are going to be, and rather than just operating at a minimal level on an asphalt plant. That's all I wanted to add, and I made it under 2.
Okay,
Thanks, guys.
thank you very much. Jennifer Brewer.
My name is Jennifer Brewer, and I live at 89 Rio Street. And after the ice storm, I have lots of thank yous. First of all, Street Department, thank you for filling a pothole on Rio, so it's not all poor Street Department. Dispatch, I called them several times, and they were wonderful. Saturday morning at 4:40 or so, I called, and PNM had convinced me that it wasn't a down power line that I was looking at, it was my breaker box, but I couldn't get it open, so I thought, well, it's a small town, maybe they can help, like police, or they're not busy. And she said, you have a down power line? And I said, I thought I did, but blah, blah, the other. And so she sent the fire department over, and then you could see with their lights the massive tree that had fallen. And he said, yes, you have a down power line, and I'll report it and make sure it's reported, since I had to argue with PNM. So they were wonderful, and she has excellent listening skills, because otherwise you wouldn't have picked up on my power line. Then the next day, we had a gas leak, major gas leak, and dispatch again was wonderful. And the gas leak, firemen were wonderful, police officer was wonderful and gave me a ride to safety, so thank you to them. And PNM linemen were working in horrible conditions, and the second set of linemen that came to work on Rio, he was up in his bucket, and massive branch fell and missed his bucket by just inches. So yes, if anybody needs stories on how scary it was for them to work, I saw it, so thank you to them. And that's it. So
Well, thank you very much,
Fire
Jennifer.
and police and dispatch.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. That was a great story. Now we have Robert Dingman. I've just always known as Bob. Good to see you, Bob.
Likewise. All right, my name is Bob Dingman. I live at 209 and 211 Brady Canyon. I bet you can guess what my problem
Yep.
is.
Yep.
All right, first of all, the night of the big snowstorm, I work at Walmart. I get up at 11 o'clock at night, trying to get up Brady Canyon. There was a giant log in the middle of the road. I ended up walking 1.5 miles in the snowstorm at midnight back to my house. The firemen got out there, they got it cleaned up, but I'm somewhat of a student of history, and I noticed Brady Canyon looked like the Battle of the Bulge out there. All I want to know is, I had one tree come down on my 2 properties. Who do I get a hold of? Because it came down in the back side of my 211 property. Whom can I get a hold of to help me get that out of there? I'm 75 years old, I'm retired, I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I cannot do it myself. I used to be able to. I've got a chainsaw, I know how to use it, but I'm getting too old for that stuff. And it's a large tree, topped out. I know I'm going to have a couple other trees that are going to have to go because of where they are. But other than that, could we please? I must say thank you very much to the street department for fixing the corner of Brady Canyon and Ponderosa. You're not going to fall in the ditch there anymore. But there are still a few holes that would be nice. My wife actually drives a $60,000 automobile and will not take it out of the driveway because of the condition of the road. Do we have any kind of guesstimation of a time when some of this will be, I don't even care about completion, at least looked at and dealt with? That's a question to you.
And one of the things about this, Bob, is you present, and it's not a give and take, but if you hang around in the meeting, I'm sure that it'll get addressed.
Okay,
Yeah, and so we'll talk about that, but I'd like to, yes.
yes.
Okay.
That's good. That's
So
good
this-
enough for me.
Yeah, it's just the format that we follow, and we like to try to stay by the rules of it, but through the rest of the presentation, through the mayor's portion and the managers, there'll be a lot of those things addressed.
All right, thank you very much, then.
Thanks, Bob.
I'm done.
Thank you, appreciate you.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, next is we have the mayoral reports and presentations of new employees, promotions, and transfers. In the new hires, we have Sean, is it Hydrick, Solid Waste? All right, stand up, Sean. Are you shy?
This is one of my biggest fears. I didn't.
Oh, okay, well, we just want you to feel welcome and to let you know, that we appreciate you coming on. And I know Solid Waste, man, Jerry works his tail off and those guys do over there, do an awesome job. But we always like to know where you came from, if you want to.
That's fine.
I don't want to scare you or anything, but just tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm originally from Plano, Texas, just north of Dallas. Where's the guy in the Patriot shirt?
Yeah.
My wife and I moved here last week from Lubbock. We were there for 4 years. And if anybody wants to know why, look out the window.
Yeah, there you go.
Amen.
There you go.
It's not flat.
Yep.
She was tired of the wind and the red dirt. My understanding is y'all do have wind here, but there's no red dirt.
No.
I started with the street department yesterday, and today was my second day, and I'm already loving it, so.
Welcome.
Well, great. We're very glad to have you.
I also heard that I missed you at the dog park the other day.
Oh, yeah, I'm there today. Did you catch before or after the lady was trashing me?
Depends on which lady you're talking
Oh, yeah. I thought I was doing well at the dog park. Evidently, I gotta clean it up. So, yeah, I'm out there all the time, so.
Welcome.
You bet, appreciate it. So always reach out if you need anything, and we're here and we do mean that, so. All right, thank you very much. Next is Reno Vaca. Reno, did I get that right? Awesome. Water Utility Warehouse, good to have you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I can, yes. I'm with them. This is one of my big things, talking in front of 9 groups of people. Here with me. I'm also originally from Texas. I was living in Waco. I got a job with the Conservation Corps in New Mexico. Moved to Las Cruces last May. And Las Cruces is very beautiful, but it's not.
This beautiful, yeah.
So my wife and I are going to move up here in May when her teaching contract ends, and I'm very excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Promotions. We got Kyle Hawk, water level 3. Hallelujah. That a boy.
Yay.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, level 3 is hard to get, 4 is hard to get. It takes a lot of time. So that's a bona fide scientist over there. We appreciate everything. How long you been with us, Kyle? And so that's going pretty quick. So you can tell us how he is as a boss later, just on the side. Yeah, Terry's been promoted and is over that whole department now. So, but anyway, we appreciate what you guys do and all the hard work giving us good, clean water. So thank you very much.
Congratulations.
And so before you got here, where were you at? Okay, so it's one mine into water now, so that's pretty good. All right, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, congratulations.
Transfer, we had Christopher Kelly from Code Enforcement Officer to Community Development. See here? Attaboy.
All right.
Okay, and we're not going to ask you why you went from Code Enforcement to Community Development. We're not going to ask that. But we're glad to have you. They need a lot of help in that department. And then just a special thank you, and I have is Jeremiah Lowball here? Okay. Jeremiah works in the solid waste department, and I get these calls pretty regular. And this guy is not always a huge fan of mine, but he called me and said that he was watching this guy who was running a grapple truck, that picks all the branches and trees up. And he said, I've been watching this guy work all over town, especially on my street. He did a great job, and then he gets out of the vehicle, gets off of it, goes down and picks up the little scraps that are left.
Yep.
And then gets a rake and gets everything done. Does the job complete. And so he was peeking out of his window and said, man, so he got the license plate. And so I called to find out who it was. So I've got a gift certificate for him. But Jeremiah Lowball, we appreciate all the hard work.
Yes.
He's in solid waste. So we let his boss know, but that's the kind of things that you guys do. Our staff is excellent, and when you're doing the work, there are always somebody watching. It's just like that, she said just a while ago, I don't know why I went blank on Jennifer's name. It's like burned into my skull, Jennifer. But she was so complimentary of what people do for their jobs, and just that extra being nice, giving that little extra attention goes the extra mile for people. So thank you very much, Jeremiah, and we'll get you
Yes.
that gift certificate.
Thank
So
you.
thank you very much. Okay, did that cover all the new ones? Was that, want to make sure I got them all covered. Did I?
Yes, that's all.
Okay. Okay, good. Then we want to recognize recognition of Ted Martinez, Lifetime Award from the New Mexico Water and Wastewater Association. And this is to Isaac Garcia.
Yay!
You are the man.
Okay, I've said this once, I've said it 1,000 times. Everybody get a good look at what number one and the number two business looks like. It's Isaac right there.
Isaac.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Isaac's been with us a long time. He runs our wastewater treatment plant, and if you guys did not know, this plant is always in the top 1 or 2% in the country.
Yes.
And the operations and the way that he handles it. Do you have any of your staff here?
No, sir.
Just you?
They're working.
They're working. They're
They're
covering
busy.
you.
So tell us what the Ted Martinez Award is.
It's for being, a member wastewater operator for over 20 years. I'm on my 28th year at the plant, and, try to keep it in compliance, try to do a good job, and I just want to thank the village for giving me that opportunity to be employed there, and I try to just do the best I can all the time,
Yes, you do.
24/7, 365 days a year, and that's it.
There you go.
And he does a great job.
Yeah, way to go.
That's a big recognition, and he's in the process of, we had some damage during the floods, getting the new headworks put in. The solar panels to save us about $150,000 a year in electricity bill. That should be done hopefully pretty soon.
Yes, sir.
And then the UV projects, some new UV lights will be put in for sanitation. But he and his crew do an awesome job. And when we were in the floods, we went out there. Gary Jackson, he was with me. That was a mess.
Yes.
And these guys were after it, all the sediment, the sand, the silt. They stayed after 24 hours a day. And, we appreciate it. And the people down river appreciate it, our neighbors. So thank you.
Thanks, Isaac.
So he does a great job. That kind of covers everything under the,
Can you add Amanda on your?
oh, yeah. And we want Amanda Forster. Did I see her? There she is. Get your head up. Would you mind coming down and giving us an update on the burn that's going on? We've already had a lot of phone calls, and y'all probably saw the smoke. And so anytime anybody sees smoke, we get a lot of calls. But this is, are you the deputy forester?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's the deputy forester, and she's been a good one. You want to talk to us about the prescribed burns?
Sure. So we have a prescribed burn going on right now. This is the lookout tower. We had conducted one 2 weeks ago, closer to the schools, which we're in constant communication with the superintendent, over communication. I think we talked about that. That was mentioned multiple times last night with you all, of communication and how far that goes and the importance of it and transparency. So did our best to over communicate with the schools. I even got the text message from, as a parent, of what was going on. So that was great. We had no calls on that at all. And everything went very well. So we're burning again today. This is the lookout piles, up Lookout Road, Drive. And so it's 10 acres. Our objectives are to positively bring fire back introduce fire back into the community, knowing what we've all gone through, and in a safe and thoughtful way. So understanding, again, there's some uncomfortable, with fire at the moment. So I was just out there a minute ago, right before I came over to this meeting. Everything's looking good. Our folks have under control. It looks great. We went door knocking the day before to the local residents, going old school, back to getting out there with the community. And we've had a couple of the residents come over and look at things, talk to our PIO. We have a PIO there as well, on site to answer any questions. And so far from the folks there, like, no, we're comfortable with things. So it's successful for us, even if success to us on this is just trying to, again, re-engage the community with prescribed fire, whether we light or we don't light. It's just getting us back to that comfort level of trying to get these fuels removed from the ground. As we thin, but you just rearrange the fuels, you're not taking them out. So that's what we're trying to do, and that's the objective here, is taking it slow, taking our time. If we get an acre, great. If we don't, that's okay too, and that's where our folks are at. So taking our time on this one. I think that's all we have. We should be done with lighting at 2:30. And then we'll have folks out there until 6:30 tonight, patrolling, making sure everything's good. They'll be out there again through the 13th, most likely, as long as conditions allow us to be out there and are favorable for burning. That's all I've got. Do you all have any questions?
No, thank you.
Do you have any updates from the Forester Laura on the negotiations or contracting she's getting with the feds? Do you know anything about that?
As far as disaster recovery goes, so I actually talked to Ron yesterday after the meeting, and our disaster folks want to come out and present where we're headed as far as the Forest Service funds go. I know that there's that state, private, and tribal pot of money that we're not really associated with. It's been handed off to state forestry to manage. But our folks on our end, the other funds that we have, we're prepared to give a presentation, not maybe next month, but the month after. Given next month, I think most of our folks are gone with spring break, and I think the meeting is spring break time.
Around that time.
Yeah, we're prepared to do that and give you guys a better update as far as where we're at and what we've done and where we're going.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Amanda.
Appreciate it. Okay, and we'll go ahead and move on to boards and commissions before we get to the manager. Board and commission appointments. Item number 1, discussion and possible action on appointment of Levi Beatty as a member and Joshua Long as an alternate to the SERPTO board.
I move that we accept Levi Beatty as a member and Josh Long as an alternate to the SERPTO board.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Item number 2 is discussion and possible action on appointment of Scarlett Kelly to the Planning and Zoning Committee.
Mayor, I move to appoint Scarlett Kelly to the Planning and Zoning Committee.
Second.
Is Scarlett here? I don't see her.
No.
Nope. Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
And Counselor Corey?
Aye.
I met with her, and I think she'll be a good one.
Yeah, she served before a
Yep.
few years back, and she did really well.
She's replacing Vicki Williams.
And
That
that's
served
what
for
I was
quite a few
gonna
years.
ask, Mayor, when we do appointments, it'd be helpful of who they are replacing, or
Yeah,
there was
that
a
would-
vacancy, or what, because I couldn't figure it out, but that makes sense now.
Yep, Vicki had sent in her resignation, and then we're always looking, and that's what's great about this community, is that I have so many people that are really volunteer, but Vicki did a great job, and we have a nice plaque coming for her, a lot of years of service, and then we'll have one for Gary, too, when he quits. The whole family just quit on us.
And just like,
I don't know.
It was the season.
It was,
and I was the one that told Scarlett to not come to this meeting.
okay.
I told her to keep baking those breads. If you want some delicious sourdough bread. Scarlet is the one, I'm telling you, so.
Yeah, she's a good one. All right. Village manager's report. Village manager Ron
All
Sena.
right, Mayor and Council, thank you. It's hard to believe with the day already. It's February the 10th. The month's going to fly by. January was we had a lot of things going on, but I'm going to first have Community Development Director Alex Koenig and Chris Kelly come up. They're going to give an update on the clean and lean properties. Following that, I'm going to have Alex get an update on the short-term rental software, and then we'll have, followed by Levi Beatty is going to give an update on some, up on the roadways and the tree removal that we have going on in Brady Canyon.
And some of the stuff maybe on the Colonius and the Brady Canyon
Yes.
stuff.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council.
Alex?
Chris is here, so he has been working for almost a year. He was with the police department working code enforcement, transferred over to community development to assist more directly with things that we work on so that we can better serve the community in regard to property maintenance and nuisance type issues in that regard. So I believe that you had the presentation in your packet in regard to the properties.
Hold on one second, Alex. I think Yvonne, we should have it on the screen also, and I think she went to get that, but we can go ahead and.
All right. The first item is, the first property is really just an example in there of the process working without us having to move forward with all of our tools in the box. So this was a property that there was a structure fire that the code enforcement department division worked with them. They did have to go to court, but through the court process, the structure that was damaged by the fire has been demolished. The property's cleaned by the owner. And so that is put to bed, and we will, again, be making sure we stay on top of that property to be sure that nothing, that they don't fall out of compliance.
What address was that?
109 South Hickory.
Okay.
Okay, we'll now move on to the next property, which is 100 Nogal. So this is a property that has been in violation for a number of years. So it starts off with, there was a violation letter sent back in June of 2014 in regard to a dilapidated deck. Moving forward, there were other issues with this property owner and the property in regard to work that was being done without permits and also not being completed. There were two agreements that were entered into with the property owner and the village back in 2018 and 2019 that were not completed. In April of 2023, there was a criminal complaint filed for the unfinished structure that did go to court, resulted in the property owner being fined. And then the next action would have been in December of 2023, where the council did adopt a resolution under the clean and lean requiring the property owner to remediate the condition of the building. The property owner did not do any action on that, and so therefore the village contracted to have the siding on the structure that you see there installed. Moving forward to January of this year, the property owner was sent letters from code enforcement that required the property to be cleaned up, as well as the building official communicated that same matter, requiring the property to be cleaned up and also to obtain permits.
So, go ahead, you're still talking about Nogal?
Oh, yes, we have one more.
Got a whole nother page.
Whole other page on this one, as well as a bit of an update on the action with court. The criminal complaint was arraigned yesterday. The owner pled guilty to the complaint, and the judge did assess $1,100 in fines for violating the various sections of the code, and then also requires that the Community Development Department will continue to monitor this property, and there may be additional fines that would be assessed for $50 a day this week, because, as I understand, the court has a maximum of $500 that they could assess for that violation. Legal filed the lien on January 13th of this year for that siding work that was completed under the clean and lien. The latest update, again, would be that we've not really seen any visible progress. Code enforcement, Mr. Kelly has sent a letter requiring compliance within by the 21st of this month, or we will move forward with both municipal court and clean and lien. So if we do not see progress on this property, we will be coming forward with a finding for clean and lien so that we can compel the property owner to either abate the issue in regard to the roof and the chimney, or if they do not complete that in time, we would go through that same process to have that work done.
What did we spend on the siding?
I believe it was approximately $48,000.
Right, and so then we've got the lien on that to recoup the 48. We do the same thing on the other?
Correct.
So when do they pay us?
That is within 4 years, correct?
You have 4 years to foreclose a municipal lien.
And what time did that start? I know there's a lot of dates here. Would that be?
February 9th? Or was that January 13th?
Of this year?
Mm-hmm.
Would start the 4 years?
I think that's when the date was.
You can foreclose at any time after the lien is
judge.
recorded. We recorded the lien, I think, in early January for work that had been done several months earlier. So I'd say about 3.5 years you have to foreclose that lien.
Okay, and what does that mean?
So foreclosing the lien it's just a lawsuit, much like you would foreclose on a mortgage that's not being paid. So when we recorded that lien, we encumbered that property, saying that we have a claim to this property in the tune of $48,000. So you file a lawsuit. We've already done a title search to see what other encumbrances are on the property. There was one mortgage, I believe, and that was all. So we'd have to notice the property owner and the mortgage holder that we're foreclosing our mortgage. Depending on how hard they defend that lawsuit, I'm assuming just what I've seen when he goes to court, I don't know that he's going to hire a lawyer to fight it. So if we were to get a default judgment, meaning he doesn't even answer the complaint, it would eventually go to a special master sale on the courthouse steps.
And it's not that we're trying to get people's property. That's not it. It's that the rest of the neighborhood has been complaining for 12 years. And we've been working with these individuals, this individual for 12 years, and they don't live here. And we've had squatters, we've had all kinds of different things over there, and so we've just had to keep forcing the issue. And so.
Zach, do you know what the status is on the property taxes? Are they in arrears?
There was nothing on the title search for property taxes.
Okay, next.
All right, staying on No-Gal, 116 No-Gal. The history on this that I'm aware of, at least, property owner was contacted to remove a dilapidated deck in September of 2024 to secure the property and secure the structure. And also they agreed to contract with a local agent to regularly visit the property to inspect so that it remains compliant with ordinances. June of 2025, code enforcement, when giving updates to myself and also to the council, did report that the property remained in compliance. August of last year, a complaint was submitted by a neighbor stating the property is abandoned, not being maintained, and the yard is overgrown. The next slide. September, the code enforcement investigation did discover that the property owner transferred to a new owner. Letter was sent to gain compliance in regard to the tall weeds and the vacant structure. October 2025, code enforcement reported that the property was compliant. December of last year, there were additional complaints from neighbors. Code enforcement and the building official did investigate that. A letter was then sent to the property owner regarding,
What was the complaint, Mr. Koenig?
pardon?
What were the complaints?
The complaint was that the property was not being maintained, the property was vacant.
Okay,
Are these pictures recent?
Yes.
Okay,
looks pretty
I
good.
don't see the overgrowth of vegetation.
So when they say maintained, what do they mean? Like siding falling out, broken windows?
As far as I could see, there's a couple of beautifications, like paint maybe, but as for the structure itself, it looks sound. Didn't see any overgrown bushes, the whole property.
Now, this is the one that I believe a neighbor reported that they had a professional look at it and said the property was not sound, that the building should be torn down and everything?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
That's the same house I'm looking
Same
at?
house, yes.
Okay.
Just last week, Mr. Kelly did send a letter to the property owner with the direction to obtain a vacant building permit no later than March 5th of 2026. And so if that does not happen, we will then pursue that through the municipal court to get compliance that way. If it is determined that there are additional problems with this property, we would then work with the village management and our legal about the potential for clean and lean action on this.
Tell us all what it means, vacant building permit.
So yes, we do have a process in here that a owner of a vacant building may register it with the village annually for that it is a vacant building, that they then agree that the building will be secured and maintained so that it is not a nuisance.
So what's the difference, how long is a vacant building? What if it's just a second home and they hadn't been here in a couple of years?
They do have a provision in our code that states that I believe that they need to sort of be there every 9 months, I
I
believe.
can
is what it
provisionally
is.
state nobody knows that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a obscure one. So, but they make sure the water's turned off, things like that?
I don't recall the specifics of whether the water is required to be turned off or
Okay.
not.
I know their insurance company would like to know that, because that's in your policies, that it claims if you're not in the home, you're supposed to secure the water. Okay?
Also, I believe that Mr. Kelly, and also there was a suggestion that there were animals, vermin, skunks, and such that were living in there. Mr. Kelly and also Mr. Hayes, the animal control officer, were out at the site today. They did not see any overt evidence that there were animals or that there was a pest infestation at that property.
Have we been in contact with the owner since February? That was the last time?
Me personally, no, sir.
Just, we've sent them information?
This is the first letter that I've sent out to this
Okay.
owner.
Because it kind of just came to our attention, in the last month or two?
Last month.
I just heard about it last month, so.
It's been something like the slides were showing, that we've been getting some complaints from the neighbors for the last several months. And we will, the step that we see currently is the need to file for the vacant building. And then we, if we discover that there are other problems through enforcing that, we will then follow up.
Thank you.
205 Spring.
This one is a bad one.
Yep, just sort of cut to the chase on this one. We will be reaching out to the property owners to see if they've got anything else, but it does look like this is a likely candidate for us to move forward with the
Yes.
clean and lean process to remove the structures and clean the property.
A lot of animals are under those.
Do you have something?
Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead.
So this is something that, for anybody that sees, if we go in there and we take this property through our clean and lean, this property's been this way since a long time, 10, 12 years, if not longer than that. So when somebody says, oh, your village is coming in and just wiping out properties, this has actually gone on too long. So this is something that really needs to be cleaned up.
They came and put some plywood over the broken windows to secure it with the promise that it was going to be fixed up, and it's never been done this. And this is just right over off Wingfield
Oh, yeah.
Street, right off Wingfield Park, and the neighbors around there, I don't blame them, they're tired of it. Okay,
154 Spruce. There was a case initiated in March of 2023 to acquire a vacant building permit. The property was secured in August of that year. In follow-up, this past summer of June 2025, the property was found to be open and unsecured. It was resecured, but the code enforcement officer at that time, Mr. Simpson, determined that the structure was in poor structural condition. In October, he did send a letter to bring the property into compliance. There has been no response to that letter. Therefore, we are going to be moving forward with the clean and lean in order to remove the structure. Also, Mr. Kelly was out there last week, has found the condition has continued to deteriorate. This was also one where there was a tree that also had.
Yes, in this picture, you see the tree that is angling.
Yeah.
That's finally fallen over. And on the back right of the house, an old telephone pole has fallen on top of it as well.
Yep.
And the last property here, again, another sign of good progress. 205 Swallow. This property was on the radar screen because it had been deteriorated. There was never an official code enforcement case that was filed for this property. Progress is being made, as you can see on the photo that was taken last week. The new windows have been installed, the new front door also installed, and the site is being kept clean. So we will continue to monitor that to ensure that progress continues to be made there. With that, any questions that you may have?
Nice report. I do have a question. Businesses on Main Street, do we send letters?
you can give an update on that one too, can't you? Or that the police have that one. On
There's just-
Thunderbird,
Yeah, there's just several. I was just wondering, does the Clean and Lean also?
Zach has an update on the Thunderbird. He's been working on that
Okay.
one.
That was cited in the municipal court, and we were set for a trial in December. I talked to the lawyer who explained to me that the owner is an elderly man that has had health issues at the end of the year. So we agreed to talk in January, which we did. And he's basically just trying to buy more time. He wants to, he can't find a contractor is what he says. And he wants to demolish the property. So I was going to talk to you guys about that and see what.
we
see
know
how you
some
wanna-
contractors can demolish
Yeah.
it.
And if I may, I also have an additional update with that. We've also received a application for the vacant building permit with that, of which part of the requiring to be part of the vacant building is to be sure that the property is free of graffiti, which is, again, in addition to our current code in there. So once we go through the process and we determine that they are able to have, for us to issue that vacant building permit, we will then also follow up to be sure that the graffiti is removed with part of that, if it is not done prior to that point.
How long are we going to wait? I mean, we could continue to,
Mayor and council, and we're going to proceed with the clean and lean process. So we'll get with legal and work on that property, so.
thanks, Alex.
Okay, short-term rental update. So we are continuing with Decker, the contractor, to again clean and validate the data in the system so that we are confident that we have what we have. We keep due pressing with them, but this may be a situation that it will take us a full year in order to be sure that we have the data cleaned and scrubbed. Along that line.
Why is that?
Just because, like I said, the data that was in there before, that they received, after, so October will be a full year of implementation with Deckard. At that point in time, everybody that has a permit will have gone through the cycle. However, we are pressing with Deckard to be sure that we can continue to make progress and get that done sooner than that full year. Yeah.
Well, Manager, we'll take a look at that. I mean, with 1,400, you know, we can do 3 a day and get done before a year.
Well,
I mean,
and secondly, along those lines, we did confirm with them that they have provided us, in the system, there is a category of those unverified properties, so that the question that came up during the strategic planning conversation was when we're going to start sending those letters. We are going through about the 100 of those properties in there that Crisanti is going through to verify the validity of those claims, whether or not they are licensed or not licensed. And so we anticipate getting through that 100. And also as Deckard then moves some of the properties that are currently in different categories as they move that in there. So we'll continue to make progress in that regard. And then also once we have a property that we feel comfortable that it is not registered, we will then have Deckard send a letter to that property owner requiring them to get in compliance and to get a permit.
Mayor?
yes, sir.
I spoke to Ron yesterday. Alex, I'm still getting complaints from property managers that they're not able to pay their taxes. They're having issues getting their properties registered. They're pulling their hair out. So not only are we missing illegal or road properties, but we're not collecting taxes on registered properties. I urged these individuals to meet with you and Ron to discuss it. They had concerns about potential retribution. I would strongly recommend that you invite property managers, and these are managers of multiple properties, to a round table so that they can discuss what their experiences are so that we can appropriately respond to what's going on. I know your frustrations are real, but we invested a lot of money in this. And not only is it not paying for what we thought we were getting, but we're not even able to collect the property taxes we were collecting before we got the software. This situation is untenable. And again, I strongly recommend you invite all multiple property managers to meet together to go over what their issues are.
Thank you, Counselor, because you actually just anticipated another item that I had on here. We are going to be scheduling a meeting with with the management companies to get feedback from them on their experiences, frustration with that on there. Also inviting all of the property management companies to reach out to me or to Crisanti in order to set up she's had several virtual meetings. Also, if need be, going to their offices to work through with them how the software works in there. We can get those scheduled typically within a couple of days of when people call us up. So we will be having that roundtable with the management companies. We'll get that scheduled yet this month. We also look to make that a regular thing because we do see that the system doesn't work unless we're all working together on making sure that it gets implemented. And so those property management companies have also been requested to submit their property lists to ensure they are correctly linking up. As of today, all of those have been done with the exception of one company. And we anticipate I think that's something that is still working through on the Deckard side for their ticket situation of how to resolve problems.
What about if it's not, because there's a lot of houses out there that aren't with the companies, it's just the owners. So what are you doing there?
Same situation. If there is a individual owner, they are also able to contact us to set up the best way to do it is actually a virtual meeting so that Crisanti can see what they're seeing on their side of the computer screen.
What about the rogue properties that, and we know of one that was not a short-term rental anymore, but on your system, it showed that they were with a company. How do we get that resolved?
So the requirement of when a property is no longer being used as a short-term rental, they are to let us know that it is.
But what if they don't?
If they don't, I don't know how we discover that there's a problem.
Okay, well,
with that, so.
you know, I brought to attention that one property by me, and it showed that it was still a short-term rental with a company here in Ruidoso. So your inspector, is that the way you would catch it? Because if you're
So the
going
way-
to
the
go
way- yeah.
inspect the property, is that how you would catch that?
We would catch it, of course, if there were a complaint. My understanding of the situation that you bring up, if there would have been the property owner reaching out to us in the situation stating that their long-term renters were potentially using it as a short-term rental, that would have been how we would have caught it in there. The inspector, of course, only goes out when doing inspections for either a new permit or for the renewal.
Which is once a year.
Correct.
Okay.
And Mayor and Council, again, we will reach out to Deckard, and I mean, we're going to have a progress meeting on this. We'll have the discussion, just the questions that were brought up, and if we need to have them in some of the trainings to explain it better for the managers or the companies that are doing it, we'll have that done also.
Ron, in the spirit of that, can we get regular reports until this issue's been resolved?
Sure, you bet. We can do it on a monthly basis. Yep.
Also, Mr. Corey, in regard to retaliation regarding to not having fees paid, we have and continue until we get the situation resolved, waiving fees and penalties in regard to lodger's tax that have not been remitted for property owners and management companies, again, that are doing their level best to be in compliance.
Thank you.
With that, yeah.
Seems like we need to take that up with Deckard, because I saw this presentation, and they could locate any home that was on any marketing service on the internet anywhere. And they pulled up every one of them in Ruidoso when I was in Atlanta, Georgia. On the software, they had the owner's name, they had all the information right there, all this matrix of information that we could pull from. And it doesn't sound like any of that's being used, and it can be used. So is this a Deckard problem? Is this a us problem?
I believe it is a Deckard problem.
Okay, well, then we need to get Deckard.
We will work with them to get
Deckard,
that resolved.
so we'll work with you to have a Zoom to talk to whoever they are to start moving forward on this. Because I thought we would be running smoothly by now.
Agreed. I will also say, we do have, in regard to the traditional lodgers, there was also a situation where they were not able to remit their taxes. There is a workaround that will be in place by the end of this week that will allow them to register through the short-term rental platform as a traditional lodger, so that they may then have a identity out there so that they may remit their taxes. I guess I would say the last item on this is in regard to the hotline. We have prepared cards for you all to distribute to those people that you come in contact so that they can call that number.
Okay, and I know that one of the lodging companies that I talked to, they were getting notices from, on properties that the names were non-existent. They didn't know who these people were. They weren't on the property. They weren't customers. They weren't anything, and they were trying to get the records straight. Have we gotten that straight?
So you're speaking of a situation where they were getting information about a license that didn't match up with the property that they thought they were managing, and property owners that they didn't recognize and things of that. Yeah, that is the reason why we're having them submit their list of the properties that they have contracts with to manage, so that we can be sure that they are aligned. And like I said, we have just one of those companies to get full alignment
Okay.
with that.
Okay.
Any additional questions?
Nope, carry on.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
What's all the other pictures in here? I mean,
That's for the.
oh, this is another thing?
Next, we're going to have Mr. Levi Beatty here.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. So I'm going to give an update on Brady Canyon that was spoke about earlier in the council meeting. So with that, when the trees are on private property, the village can't, assist in that. But the Southern Baptist Disaster Relief is down at First Baptist Church, and I also have their phone number that I can provide if anybody wants that.
So what you're saying is if a tree falls on private property, they have to get it off?
Yes, sir. They have to get it off
And
and
we have
put
to
it on
call
the
a
right of
company?
way. Either call a contractor or Southern Baptist Disaster Relief. Their number is 505-226-5920. So
Repeat that, please. Say it slower.
505-226-5920. And they're stationed down at the First Baptist Church from 9 to 4, Monday through Friday.
Across from Cree Meadows?
Yes, ma'am.
First Baptist Church,
Yep.
the
So
Baptist Association.
with that, the Solid Waste Department will be going around and picking up the trees off of the right-of-way. The logs have to be cut in 6-foot lengths or smaller, and they need to be in front of your property just off of the roadway or 5 feet from your dumpster there in front of your property. Logs need to be separate from limbs or branches. It's 2 separate pickups. So, but Southern Baptist should be able to help you out with private property. Now, moving on to the roadway. So we have been up there in that area doing pothole patching. We did do some work at Brady and Ponderosa, and we will continue, doing pothole patching up there in that neighborhood. So, and I will say, we did receive a Colonius grant for paving Brady Canyon, Ponderosa, Maple, and Ash Drive to do those roadways coming up. So we're working through that process. We did receive a $4 million grant. Now, we are also going after another grant right now to do the water lines in that area before we pave those roadways. A lot of that neighborhood has 2-inch galvanized water lines. So we'll be doing 6-inch C900 and adding fire protection to those neighborhoods. And we'll be also using our GeoBond money as well, combining that with the Colonius grant we're going after to be able to do the water line
We've
before we
received
pave
one $4 million one.
for the roads.
We're going after additional Colonius,
Yes, sir.
and then the Geo bond for 1.5, so you'll stack that?
Yes, sir.
Good job, Ron.
And Mayor Crawford and members of the council are also applying for an EDA grant also. As we speak, that's the one I've been working on, so.
And so now we've done some engineering, or it has been done on some of those roads?
It's in process right now. yes,
Process
sir.
right now, so there's already people working there?
Yes, sir.
Need to have them go by Mr. Dingman's house, knock on the door. Tell him I'm here.
There you go.
And I'll stand for any further questions. Thank you, Mayor.
Hey, thank you, guys. That's good news.
Mayor and council, just a couple of other items that on the manager's report, we had the State of the Village. Mayor Crawford presented just a progress report for 2025, and we had our strategic planning goal-setting session, and big thanks again to Gina, and she had other staff members that helped assist getting the all the documents together, all the directors, managers who prepared their tactical plans. It takes a lot of work. We had also had the comprehensive plan update that whole week. So we had, they were busy multitasking and doing a lot. So I really appreciate the staff for that. And we had Lincoln County Days in Santa Fe this past week, along with the New Mexico Municipal League Municipal Day. And I know the police chief, he had his affiliate, and others with the mayor had his executive board along with Councilor Eby. So had a good turnout, and I'll stand for any further questions, so.
Did Levi, 603, since that got mentioned a bunch last night,
Okay.
about 603, would you mind giving an update on 603 Meacham, which is the 10-unit, beautiful modular homes next to Michael J's? Go ahead.
So, Mayor, Council, so on 603, I do have good news. We did receive 3 green tags, which means we passed manufacturer housing inspection on the 3 homes there. So P&M has been contacted, and we'll be waiting on them to provide meters on those 3 homes to be able to move forward with that. And then the home spot, they'll be doing the deep cleaning, and then we'll schedule a walkthrough to go look at those homes. The fencing contractor, the work is ongoing. We're working on the frame for the fence right now, the R-panel fence that goes around all of those homes. The other thing that we're working on right now is the survey for the curb. So today, this afternoon, White Sands was supposed to survey for the curb to be able to do that. And then next week, we'll start hauling millings over there to the property. The street department will be providing millings for the property. And that'll be temporary until this spring, and when we plan on paving the project and then doing siding on those existing cabins to match the homes there. We did receive a grant for that funding there to be able to pave and to do that remodel of those cabins.
Levi, 2 questions. One, when do you think we'll be able to get renters into those units?
So Mayor, Councilor Corey, so this week we should have all of the homes passed with final inspection. So that being said, I would think maybe a month. I'm hoping if we can, being realistic with hauling the millings in there, getting those spread out, and it not being a mud pit. I'm hoping a month, but.
Yes, sir, Mr. Twicker.
And then, I'm sorry, I have 2 questions. Second one is the mobile home on Sunny Slope.
It's ready to go.
Yes.
So I was surprised because I thought we had a backlog,
I know, I thought so.
and
There's a sign in
for
front of
rent
it.
sign, so is there not a backlog, or?
Mayor Crawford, Councilor Corey, the backlog was on the 603 property. On the other one, our management company put out a notice also on that one.
The 10 homes at 603, there was like 50 names for
yes.
10 homes.
So are
But
they gonna let those people know, hey, we got something else available?
I'll visit with Kylie on that and make sure she puts it out to everyone, and that's what she was gonna do, so I'll get with her to confirm that.
these modulars, they have
Yep.
LVT flooring, granite countertops.
Oh, I know.
I mean, they're
Yep.
sweet, so they're probably hoping they get one of those.
Yeah, pardon me, Councilor Hooker.
Yes, sir.
So again, just for anybody that hadn't sat in here for the past year, to understand that there was an engineering fault basically that occurred, not of our doing or not doing, that the retaining walls were not put in there correctly. And then there was a debate over who was going to do it as far as this engineering company, the contracting company, so on and so forth. And that's why this project has taken as long as it has.
Yes, sir. Mayor, Council, that is correct. There was an engineering failure, and they had to get a third-party review of the plans, and they came back. White Sands did come back, and they did that work at no cost to us to adjust and fix the issues that were on the site.
Well, and dovetailing that, Councilor Hooker, the inspections were not being conducted by the village, they were being conducted by the state.
Correct. And Mayor and Council of the state, New Mexico CID, Construction Industry Bureau, Division was the one doing the inspections, and they're the ones that stopped the project due to the errors made by the engineer that was hired.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thanks, Levi.
Ron, can you tell us about the TPF funds on the 2025, which is Transportation Project Funding for Roads on Meander, Cree Meadows? Go ahead.
Mayor Crawford, members of the council, the TPF, the council awarded the project to Cutler Repaving. We're looking at possibly June timeline before they could do the work to begin, do the mobilization, be here on site. What we're going to have to do first on those roadways that the mayor mentioned is they'll do some patching work. We have some additional funds. We'll be presenting a proposal to the council for some pre-patching on some of those roadways that are just too thin to be able to do just their process. So this is a $2 million grant that we have, and it is a 95.5% project with the state paying 95%, the village 5%. And I know Levi, myself, and Josh will be applying for another application here we have the preliminary project scope, which is due here on February the 24th, I believe, or 26th. And then the grant application, will be submitting that in the springtime also.
Okay, very good. Because the projects that we do on the roads, we get grants through either TPF that I just mentioned, or the MAP funding, the municipal arterial
Yes.
project, and it has to be tied to a state highway some way.
And Mayor Crawford, members of the council, we did our TPF the project last year. We were able to utilize appropriations, state appropriations and the TPF, so it was 100% grant funding, not a single dollar from the village, any type of funds from the village. So it's all grant funded.
Okay? Anyone else?
Oh, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to ask Ron to kind of explain to the public, the New Mexico Municipal League is a very valuable organization, and they look out after the assets and also the health and welfare of municipalities, and that their fight against the state preemption over municipalities, what that would have done would have given them essentially oversight over our zoning and telling municipalities what they could look like. And they pointed that out, and they're fighting for the municipalities about that, because to me, that's pretty much an egregious overreach by the state in reaching into communities, telling them how they have to zone, what they can zone where, and essentially what they have to do. And if that had gone through, many communities would not look like they would like their own communities to look like. So if you could touch on that, Ron.
And Mayor Crawford, members of the council, we're very fortunate to have an organization as the New Mexico Municipal League. We're very fortunate that Mayor was president for 2 years. Usually you have a one-year president, and we had the mayor. So working with AJ Forte and we have Clinton Isley and others there, Allison, they provide a lot of services to us with when it comes to legislation. They're backing us up. I'll give you an example. Back when the gross receipts tax, they wanted to pull the hold harmless, and that meant that any of the gross receipts tax on groceries, when they stopped that back in it was like 2004, is they took the food off of tax, which hurt the municipalities. At that time, they had a hold harmless agreement where they're still going to, all the sales on food, groceries, still going to be submitted just like we had tax on food. We get our distribution on it. We keep our gross receipts tax. But we've also been fortunate with the floods, with the disasters. We got the water rescue truck that they provided to us, this police vehicle that we lost during this here recently, the snowstorm. We already have a replacement thanks to AJ and his staff. We did receive that vehicle last Tuesday. Chief has that vehicle, and getting it equipped, they're paying for that 100%. And just on any types of laws that affect the village, they're there to lobby for us. I mean, he's our lobbyist. Him and AJ and Allison, they lobby for all municipalities. Right now, we're having with the preemption that Councilor Eby mentioned is the local election. We still have our local elections here on March, where other other municipalities within Lincoln County, they go with the local election, which is in November of every year. And we're continue with our own election. We have our general obligation bond question, and we feel that we want to be able to present our own election and be able to show our residents and our voters that we continue to support, for the bonds and things like that. And then there's other ones that they're always fighting for us, as a mayor being president, we were able to get the fire fund distribution higher, the EMS fund.
Trust board.
That was also, went from 12,000 to like 100,000 on the EMS fund act. And then the Water Trust Board, they're lobbying for these projects of getting more and more funding for the Water Trust Board, where we've been very fortunate the last couple of years to be awarded Water Trust funds. And this year, they're going after not having to go, when you apply for a Water Trust Fund project, it has to be taken to the legislative session, it has to be passed with the regular budget bill. And AJ, hopefully he'll be able to get that out of that where it doesn't go through the legislative session, and we're able to just have those funds sooner and quicker. So, but to name a few, I mean, there's a lot that.
But the one that Evie's talking about, the preemption.
Yes.
They were trying to push the state through where they could come into any community and put low-income housing, Section 8, right where they wanted to.
Yes.
And I know now everybody knows, like when we were talking about the Mashburn property in Midtown, and the citizens decided, no, we didn't want it there. That would exclude all of that, and it would go right into any neighborhood, regardless of HOAs or whatever. And then they have done it on the municipal elections. We feel like that our local elections, we should have it like we've always had it, so that you know who you're voting for. There's not a bunch of items on the ballot sheet. We're able to focus on what we need, and so we do. But they're making it, because we didn't go for it, us and 7 other communities, now then they're making it financially more expensive. The machines that we've rented and all the other things that we have to come through the state and then through the county, they're raising the prices on all these things to where it wasn't that expensive, and now it's getting more expensive. So it's just the state trying to take over the communities, and you can imagine there's a lot of small communities that do not have the GRT, the revenue that the village does to fight these things. And so the Municipal League is going after any bill that comes against local government, and this is local government. Y'all are part of that you can come talk to us. I don't know when the last time you saw your state representative in their official role, or your state senator in their official role, where they can actually make a decision. I bet you haven't. And so this is the way you get to give input to the governing body that can make decisions that affect you. And that's why we want to maintain that, and they're making it very difficult. That's just 2 items. They're always running into other issues, and so we're constantly fighting those at the Municipal League, and they do a great job. AJ and Clinton nicely, and they've got a wonderful staff there. But and we pay dues. There's 106 cities that are involved in that, and so we all meet. We have an executive board. We have a general meeting where everybody shows up, and same thing. You get to bring all your concerns. They're addressed, legal staff, all that, and then we come up with policies and procedures that we can agree on, that we push. And so that's part of your legislative process in action that's outside of this village. But the Municipal League is a wonderful organization.
And Mayor, just on a couple of items too, is just on the preemption. It happens it usually happens on the 60-day session, a 30-day session. There's not enough time, but next year you'll be seeing some of these bills come back where they want to do the planning and zoning, and then Tort Claims Act, that was a couple of years ago also. And so there's a lot there that they're gearing up to do every other year.
Mayor, Ron, I saw some chatter on social media about GRT. Could you explain for the benefit of our citizens how it works as it relates to GRT on groceries?
So on Mayor Crawford and members of the council, on the GRT, every time you go to say a grocery store, you're going to pay on non-food items, you're paying gross receipts tax, but you're also compensated for if you buy grocery food items. All that is, the grocery stores or any type of retail store, they send the sales to the New Mexico Tax and Rev. At that point, we get our percentage, and then they get their percentage from the state, and then we receive the not only our gross receipts tax, but we get back our whole harmless distribution on there also.
What would have been charged on meat and bread?
Yeah,
Yes.
so.
Stuff like
We're
that.
still
in
being
essence,
compensated.
Even though the consumer isn't paying the tax, the village is collecting.
Hold harmless. We're
Yes.
held harmless.
Yes.
Bill Richardson, through his administration, passed that on food items,
Yeah.
and they've tried to expand that, and that's good for our citizens, but with
Right.
GRT being the only main source of revenue that a village community has in New Mexico, it really harmed us. And so that was one of the things, and they've raised that to communities above 10,000. There's different, 10,000 people, there's different rules.
And then several years ago, we had an option to opt into to that whole, the ordinance. We would have dropped the hold harmless and had our own tax increment increase. And the council at that time didn't want to move forward with another tax, but we stayed with the hold harmless. And then going to the gas tax, to the gas prices, we've been hearing that again, and we wish we had control over that, but we don't have any control, so.
Yeah. And they the legislators in Santa Fe passed a 50-cent gas tax to be implemented last year, and it passed. And then everybody wonders why our gas is so much higher. They passed it, and they've implemented it slowly over this last year. And so people wonder why gas is so much more expensive in New Mexico, and that's part of the reasons. And so it's and not controlled locally. I wished it was. I wish because I get that all the time. Why don't you do something about the gas prices?
Well,
Hey, Allsips, would you drop your price? Then it'll be realtors next. I'll be telling them that's too dang high on those homes. And the newspaper, could you lower your advertising rates? And that paper ain't worth $1. Could you knock that down to 50? No, it is worth $1. 25 now, isn't it? $1.50 now? How much is it? Yeah, it used to be a quarter, and then it went to $1, and it's something now. But anyway, we're thankful for the Ruidoso News. Anything else?
Just real quick, can you explain why Alto cannot vote in the Ruidoso?
Oh, my God, we're getting all these people. You have to live in the village of Ruidoso city limits, okay? You have to be registered. Where you're registered to vote is where you can vote. So we've got people that are running in this election that have moved their voting, they're not living at their business. And then we've got people from Alto that are wanting to vote in this election. They think they should be allowed to vote in our election. So I say, we want to go start voting in Albuquerque's election. And maybe I can run for Albuquerque mayor too, I don't know. But those kind of things, that's why you have boundaries, and that's why there's just simple rules. That you have to be registered in the community. Your voter registration card has to reflect that address that allows you to vote in that area. Now, some areas have districts, like county. You have different districts within the county that you have to live within that boundary to be able to run for that office and to vote for that individual. Okay, and I don't know, it's just getting crazy where people are wanting to vote that own property here but live in Texas. They think they can vote. Well, if that guy can run for office and I have property in Ruidoso, I should be able to vote in your elections. And that's not the way that this is set up.
And another thing is the Alto is in the Capitan School District.
School district.
And so their taxes go to Capitan.
Not here.
So we would have a big fight on our hands with Capitan because they depend on
They depend on those taxes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And another thing that was brought up about ENMU, the only municipalities that support ENMU with taxes is the Village of Ruidoso and City of Ruidoso Downs.
Yep.
No other community does. So when you're talking about having satellite colleges or different classes being held, that's solely at the discretion of the college. But we have to remind these other mayors, they would love to do it, but you need to support the college.
Yeah.
And so it's just things like that I guess civics class should be taught again these days to show people how government is set up and how it works. Because it's not fair, and it wasn't that long ago that the governor, and I like the governor, but she was given all these raises and they weren't charging enough, taking enough taxes out of the state employees' payroll for PARA, Public Employee Retirement Association. So it was had shortfalls. Remember that, Ron? So who did they pass on extra bill to?
The
Municipalities.
yes.
And so not only are we paying for ours, but we had to dip in a little extra to pay for this. And we fought it, but we lost that. And so it's things like this. We're not just talking about potholes and streets, which are very important, and water and plumbing and all that, but we're constantly having to battle other entities because everybody's looking for money. So, anyway. Anything else you can think of on the manager's report? Nope. Okay, we will move on. We'll have reports from municipal officials. Councilor Corey, over there in the corner, would you like to
Thank you, Mayor.
go first?
Just two quick things. I want to send kudos to the Ruidoso Valley Chamber of Commerce, and in particularly Deborah Dowds. The Lincoln County Day, I think, was one of the better ones I've ever attended. And I thought last night's candidate forum was well organized, so kudos to Deborah. And just a note, the work on the comprehensive plan continues. A number of us, I think Councilor Letterman, Councilor Solis, and I are on the steering committee for the comprehensive plan, and we're having our meeting tomorrow evening.
Thursday.
Oh, I've got it. It's
I have
tomorrow.
it Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that.
So, anyway, the work continues. Thank you.
And you did a good job last night.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
How did you, I don't know how you keep track of who was getting what question.
I had a scratch.
You only missed one.
I missed it once, so.
It's not so bad for 2 hours' work.
All right, Dr. Dickinson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It seemed like a recurring theme last night at the candidate forum, if you were there, was communication. Well, it's easy to talk about it, but when you walk it, it's a whole different thing, and that's where I'm addressing that tonight, or today, rather. This is really tagging on a little bit to Levi's comments earlier. Recently, when we had a horrible ice and snowstorm that knocked out public utilities, P&M was working with extra crews from elsewhere. It became apparent early on that we were in a crisis circumstance, and an emergency directive was issued by the council. But what I'm really talking about is the incredible communication that went on at that time between the street department, the public works, to prevent needless waste of water, or really a leak and then an ice and then more complications, our fire and police department, and our emergency manager as well, because it became a health risk to many who were on, say, an electrical system for oxygen. Many of you may or may not be aware of how that works, but you plug it in the wall, it makes oxygen, and if there's no electricity, it stops, and you have just a backup tank that's only good for a couple of hours. And so I wanted to really shout out to those services and those groups that made this place much safer, much faster than it might have been otherwise. And the other comment I wanted to make was I wanted to encourage everyone to get out and vote. Early voting now right through these doors, and then the other time is March 3rd for the regular election. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Good job. Thank you very much. Councilor Hooker?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What they said.
Always short and sweet. Councilor Eby, please step
thank
up
you.
to the microphone.
Yes.
There we go. Thank you, sir.
All right, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to tag on to what Council Corey and Council Jackson had just now elaborated on. Thank you to Deborah Dodds. That Lincoln County Days in Santa Fe was very well attended, a very good reception, and I believe a lot of people made a lot of different contacts, made some progress in areas that they were looking to, as far as meeting with different legislators and trying to get things accomplished. And also the strategic planning went very well. So I won't go into that, but I would just like to thank all of the village staff, all of the departments in their hard work and efforts during the ice storm and snowstorm. They worked tirelessly from the EOC right through all the different departments. And also, I'd like to thank P&M for sending so many linemen in that worked in very hazardous conditions to bring power back to our residents. I have a rental unit, and the people I had over there, they were out without power for over 48 hours. So, but I took a heater over there for them, so at least they didn't freeze. But thank you for all of the village departments for your hard work, and the P&M also. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilor Letterman?
Well, ditto.
Ditto.
Just one other thing, on Saturday, Jennifer, what time? 10 to 12 at the Wingfield Museum. We're having a Valentine's celebration, free entry, so please come out, bring your kids and come out. Yep. And here's the deal, most of the adults have the most fun. So, thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Mayor, and yes, I agree with everything that was said, and there was a couple of questions that stuck on my mind since last night, and I arrived here in 1963, and my number one priority for the village of Ruidoso as your councilman is to make sure the park bathrooms are clean and have toilet paper. And thank you, Councilor Hooker, for bringing up parks. That was my number one priority, so. But in all honesty, yes, all our staff in all fronts, even our volunteers that we have are dedicated to what they do. And I really appreciate the hard effort and work and the collaborative efforts that we work with other agencies to make Ruidoso the home we have. You know, I look at the month of February as the month of love, being it Valentine's Day, but I just thank God every day that He loves us to keep us safe, as long as we don't walk the wrong path, as I have done many, many of times. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you. I just wanted to give an update on House Bill 246. That's the one that's concerning the buyback program, the $235 million that looks like it's still moving through, so it looks like it'll hit the floor. It's got due passes everywhere, 100% support. So we're looking for $62 million to go with that. So that would be $173 million from the federal government that we'll be able to start a buyback program. This is being championed by the county, so they're doing a really good job. And Harlan Vincent's pushing that through along with Nathan Smalls and different ones. So that's still moving forward. Most of our bills are still in play, so it looks like that we're going to be able to get some help through.
Mayor.
And, yes, ma'am.
So you said it's 235 million, but then you said.
Well, it's 235 is the total, and then we have to have a match of 60.
Oh.
So and that's where we have to pay 25%. So the net is the gross is 235. The net.
But the village of Ruidoso has to come up with 60.
And the county, that's the two of us, the 25%. So, and the way the money flows is from the feds to the state to the county. And then anything inside of our jurisdiction, then we're in control of that.
Then
But
how do we get the 62 million?
we begged, and we ordered, like I always make fun of Ron ordering a gross of knee pads and Vaseline, or chapstick. And so it's asking its proven presentation. Hey, I'm telling you what, it gets dirty down there.
Is that a double meaning?
But we do presentations. We've been doing them all year for the legislative finance committees all over the state, explaining to them what's going on, taking pictures, because a lot of them, when they drive into town to go to the end of the Mountain Gods or come here or go to a meeting, it looks pretty good. And so they don't know. So we give them a lot of trips into the burned and washed out areas, showing them how dangerous the roads are, that we need the funding for this. Again, the village makes our money off of grocery receipts tax. So that's about $50 million a year. And then on top of that, we get about 13% off of property tax. The rest is all through grants and everything that these guys work terribly hard to get. That gets us to a budget of about $156 million total for spend. But with those grant dollars, they're specific for certain items. And so, but that's why there's just not money laying in our bank account to go up there and redo everything at one time. And we would love to be able to do that, but we would be broke. And this country is littered with communities that didn't manage their money properly and didn't trust, they trusted FEMA too directly, and their reimbursements didn't come. And you can call and check on a lot of communities in Louisiana, Mississippi that haven't recovered and never will from Hurricane Katrina, Rita, Wilma, and even hurricanes before then. So we make sure that we're not in that position. And it's good management, and Judy, I don't see her in here, Starkovich in the financial department, and the project managers, and all the people that work here are diligent about making sure that the numbers add up.
So the 235 from the state, and then we're asking for our portion to come from the state.
235 is going to be from the feds.
Feds,
and
and
then
then
the
we're asking for
62.
the 62 from the state. Okay.
And then we have phase 1 and phase 2 that's been determined, and then that'll be the buyouts all along the washed out areas of the homes, that are in now the floodplain that they can't rebuild on, you can't get insurance, you can't get a loan for.
But we still don't know if it's property value or.
Right now, the determination in the bill is at pre-catastrophe fire floods rates, and that they still have a mechanism in there to, they don't use the word make whole, but to attempt to restore. And then there's another program that's from FEMA. That one's from USDA, the NRCS program. And then we're working on another one from FEMA, but you can't mix the two, and that's the problem. So we're trying to get them to where we can use them in concert, but haven't been.
How will it be from the county? I would apply to.
Yep.
So if my insurance is already paid, then.
They'll subtract that out.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like some people did have flood insurance and only paid $250,000, and you may have had $500,000 mortgage.
Okay.
And so then they'll work with you on that. Or you may have not had flood insurance, not been in the floodplain, and your regular insurance doesn't cover it.
So it's first come, first served.
It's a voluntary sign-on. It's not a condemnation or anything like that. It's a voluntary program. And then the feds, the county has gone through, looked at the properties that need to be removed, like the buildings down Sutter Street that we hear about all the time. That's private property. We can't just go take them down. And so we have to get signatures from property owners. And to do that, let's be honest, folks, those people have been hit so hard, they don't have the $30,000 to $50,000+ to tear down that building and haul it off and have it buried in an EPA-approved dump site. Okay, and then we can't just go in there and do it without condemning it. And so FEMA has come to the village, says we want you to condemn those properties and then do a clean and lean on it. And then that just adds insult to injury, in our opinion. So we've been pushing back on that. And that's why we've been really pushing hard for this NRCS program. We initially asked for $609 million, and they came up and said, well, we'll start with 235 and see what you can get done. So that's where we're at right now. But FEMA's still pushing on us to clean and lean. So like the barbershop building, the houses and stuff that are down there, those will be in the number 1 category to be able to work out a deal with the property owner so that those properties can be secured. If we can't get to that agreement on the sales price, then it's going to force the village into the clean and lean. I'm just telling you it like it is. Because if something happens, another flood comes through, takes that building down, it ends up destroying, taking out a bridge, culverts or whatever, FEMA said we're not paying for it.
Yeah.
And so, and what FEMA has come in and now has told us is we're no longer paying for cascading events. What does that mean? Well, you have fire, and then you had the flood 1, flood 2, cascading. They don't want to pay this next year. So that means desilting the river costs us around $26 million to desilt all the way from our boundary all the way down to the downs, all the way through. And so they're saying they're not going to pay for that. So that's why they're forcing everybody into action. And we're trying to make sure that we're not harming those that have already been harmed any more than it has to be. So anyway, any other question?
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll move on to public hearings. Number one, public hearing for proposed ordinance 2026-09, an ordinance amending the Village of Ruidoso Municipal Code of Ordinances, Chapter 42, Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 2, Village of Ruidoso Fire Code, Section 42-32, violations, penalties, and fees. Who's this, Miley?
Mayor's going to be
EO.
the chief and the AC, both.
Okay.
Oh,
The ass
okay.
chief and the head chief.
He thought he was going to get to sit there.
Afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council.
Okay.
How we doing?
Doing well.
Yep. So this is amending the ordinance to allow the captains and lieutenants on each truck to be able to write citations for fire
Fires.
pit violations.
Everybody
Assistant
remembers?
Chief, could you elaborate on what drove this change?
So currently, the ordinance states, I think it's the fire chief, assistant fire chief, or fire marshal have the authority to write those, or obviously Ruidoso Police Department. There are times when they're not available, so this allows us, we're always on scene of those calls. So if we come across a full-time resident who does not have the proper permitting, we can now issue that citation for the violation of the actual code.
What do you mean full-time resident? I thought it was anybody.
It is anybody. So there's also short-term rentals, which is a whole nother section in the ordinance.
But that's covered, isn't that covered in,
This section,
is it 42 or 42 for 32?
that, correct me if I'm wrong, is just the authority to write the citation, correct?
So it can be, the short-term rentals, we can write a ticket.
Yeah.
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 To anybody, not just short-term.
Yeah, to anybody violating,
Because what you've had is complaints, fireman shows up, puts it out, the police show up, and by the rules, if they don't see it burning, then it doesn't count.
yeah, they have to witness it, and it's irresponsible for us to sit there and let it continue to burn for an extended period of time, waiting, and if they're busy, tied up on, critical calls or something like that. So this allows us, it's just adding that, the names in there of the captains and lieutenants, allowing them to issue those citations since they're already on scene.
I have a question.
Go ahead, ma'am.
So, with the short-term rental, can they have charcoal that, a fire comes with charcoal? Can they have charcoal grills?
Yes, they can, as long as we're not under level 2 fire restrictions. So level 1 fire restrictions is what we're always under. They can have charcoal, as long as they're cooking. So the cooking with pretty much anything in the level 1 restrictions.
Just no fire pits.
Correct, never any no open flames, period.
Well, the charcoal in that open flame?
Not if you're cooking.
Not if you're cooking.
Cooking devices are permitted.
Okay.
So what about the tops,
Grill.
the grill that, you can like cook s'mores, set around it, but then you can also put the grill on top of it? I mean, this is somebody that has come to me and said, what's the difference?
Yeah, so we've talked about this extensively. I know I've had conversations with the, police chief, deputy chief. We've had multiple conversations about it. There is a gray area. If they're using it for cooking and we witness them cooking on it, I mean, it's a cooking device. There is a part in the ordinance that states it has to be an approved cooking device under certain, like UL manufacturer specifications. So that would be where we would be able to use our judgment and say, you know, that's obviously a 55-gallon drum cut in half. It's not manufactured for that purpose.
What are you
So-
talking about?
So what if
We've all done it.
there's no grill, but I'm cooking s'mores, sitting there talking? That's
Based
not
on the
right.
ordinance, it wouldn't be allowed. It's not an approved, it's not a device that was manufactured for the purpose of cooking food.
But a grill on top of the fire is okay.
If it's
If it's
approved,
approved, if it's, yeah, it has to be approved.
made for that purpose.
I guess
Yeah.
what I don't understand is that fire can get out.
Correct.
Okay. I mean, I
So-
didn't have an answer for this person.
So like technically speaking, if you have a gas grill, you knock it over, it's gonna still get out. So we can't, I guess we can't, you know, foresee all the future and make sure that that's not gonna happen. But if it's not bought and designed to cook off of, you cannot use it. So you can't have an open flame with a fire pit and say you're cooking s'mores and say I'm cooking. You see what I'm saying? Because that's
I
not
do.
designed to cook off of. You can't put a grate over a fire pit and say I'm cooking because this grate was designed. No, you have to have a charcoal grill cooking hamburgers, hot dogs, if you have a s'more over it or whatever. But you can't be, you can't have a makeshift cook and say that you're cooking off of it and it actually,
Okay. Okay, thank you, I appreciate it.
And to clear it up, we provided each one of our trucks, they have the information, they have the actual ordinances, all the information they'll need to reference back to ensure that we're following the ordinance correctly as well.
I guess I just worry about that gray area.
We're able to take it out of most situations.
Okay,
Yeah, we've had those discussions and we've been able to really dig into the ordinance and the wording and
okay,
remove it.
thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor and either chief or assistant chief, in order to define these a little more clearly, because I think there may be some confusion out there, you're looking basically at those items for cooking that may be UL approved or not?
Yeah, I forget it's UL, there's another standard.
But they're basically commercially defined as safe to be used for the purpose of cooking. So I can't do a campfire, throw a grill over it, and cook a hot dog.
Correct.
Thank you.
Mayor, my only question right here is that on a call, whenever you get a call and you send somebody out, does a captain or a lieutenant go with every call?
They do. We have an officer at each station on every truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So does this mean that we're not looking at what am I trying to say?
You're telling this story.
I know.
Beat that horse, beat that dead horse, go ahead.
The fire code person.
Fire marshal.
Fire marshal,
Thank you, I'm sorry. The fire marshal, are we still gonna be looking at that?
yes,
Okay.
but not just for that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, we still want to
No,
do our
yeah,
own
no, we
fire
need-
marshal
yeah,
thing.
no, okay.
And what this does is the reason, because the way it's written right now, if RPD is unable to make it because they're tied up, without changing that wording in the ordinance, they would have to call Chief Hall or myself, and if it's Saturday at, midnight,
Yeah.
then we have to go out, and it technically still should be burning because we have to witness it. Whoever writes the citation has to witness it. So this just opens up.
Yeah.
We can get there, take care of the issue at hand, and then deal with the paperwork after.
Okay.
It's $500.
500.
Okay, any other questions? Okay. All right, well, this is a public hearing, so I'll open up to the public. Is there anybody in the public or the millions around the world on internet that would like to speak for this?
I'm glad they can do that. So when you watch campfires across the river from
You want to be recognized, Jennifer? You want to be?
Come up here, you have to. be
Okay,
on-
then we don't have to swear in, do we? You just believe her?
Yeah, just for the heck of it, swear it in.
Are you good?
Come on, Jennifer.
Does she have anybody, do we have anybody online? No, sir. Okay, is there anybody that wants to speak against this here in the public forum? Is there anybody online? Recognizing none, okay, we'll close the public portion I'll kick it back to the council. Any comments?
Mayor, I move approval of ordinance 2026-09, an ordinance amending the Village of Ruidoso Municipal Code of Ordinances, Chapter 42, Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 2, Village of Ruidoso Fire Codes, Sections 42-32, violations, penalties, and fees.
Second, discussion, Mr. Mayor. Were there any communications to the clerk's office pertaining to this, either for or against? I wanted to steal rifles.
I was sleeping on the job. After I was sleeping on the
There
job.
was no correspondence for or against.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
And Counselor Eby.
All right, thank you, guys.
I guess I
Appreciate
did
it.
have a statement. I guess when I get the calls here, I just tell them, go visit your national forest. They have grills out there and you could have an open pit fire, even put some rocks in a circle and cook the hot dogs and marshmallows there.
And it's only 5 minutes away.
Which I'm very fortunate, because before we didn't sync with our restrictions, and I could walk out my backyard into the forest, and my
Yeah.
grandkids roasted their marshmallows out there, so.
Chris, is this you or Alex? You gonna be up here with the chief? You doing it all by yourself?
Alex, and then with Chief Mander also.
Okay. Next, we have regular item number 1, discussion and possible action on revocation of short-term rental permit issued to Gray Autumn LLC at 149 Willie Horton Drive due to the illegal use of a fire pit or outdoor burning reported to the village or third-party monitoring agency and confirmed by the village. Yes, folks?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is, again, a request for consideration of revocation of a short-term rental license for the use of a fire pit at a short-term rental. Per the short-term rental ordinance, that when a confirmed use of a fire pit is made by the reported to our third-party monitoring system, or in this case to the dispatch, and it is verified that there was a open flame fire pit use at a property. Therefore, when it is confirmed by the Community Development Department, we therefore suspend the license and then automatically bring it forward for the council to consider the revocation of such license. We have found that to be the case in this situation. Therefore, we sent the letter to both the property owner and also to the management company regarding the suspension of this license. Would also remind the council that per the ordinance, the governing body shall hear and consider all testimony to make a determination by a majority of the membership present on this appeal to either revoke the permit, to reverse the determination and reinstate the permit, to table the appeal to the next meeting. Also, there is a section in the ordinance that does allow for the governing body, if it does not render a decision on the request for revocation within 90 days of the suspension, that the permit shall be reinstated by the Community Development Director. Do have both the fire chief and the police chief here as well to address questions on this, as well as the representatives of Ruidoso Vacation Rentals, the management company for this property.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'm confused. Were the occupants or the property owner cited?
In this case, the occupants, we tried to cite the occupants with, we did not get the proper information we needed to, so it was gone to the property owner.
But we did cite the property owner.
The property owner got the citation.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Oh, well, why were you unable to get the information of the tenant or renter?
They had left and everything, so when we contacted Condotel, they didn't have the proper information that we needed to write the citation, so it had to go to the property owner.
So when you went out to the property, we didn't get like their license number? I mean, we didn't get their information.
That wasn't obtained on the scene.
Is that supposed to be?
It will be in the future.
Okay.
If they, like I said, if they will give it to us.
Okay, so you're wanting to pull their license for a year? Is that what I'm reading?
Per the ordinance, should the council make a determination that the license would be revoked, it would be up to 365 days from the date of the issuance of the letter. So it would be until January 27th of 2027.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Is there not something to where you as staff is presenting us, this is our recommendation? Or are we going to hear this every time and become a jury or a court of law?
Quasi judicial.
Right.
So per my read of the ordinance, the role of staff is to suspend the license, bring it forward for your consideration, and just provide answers to the questions that you provide, not to provide a recommendation whether or not to revoke.
Okay.
And staff does not have any discretion. The way the ordinance is written, it says shall be revoked or shall be suspended. And then it goes to
We
you
hear
guys. Mhm.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Do you need a motion?
Yeah, and have you got a response back from the property owner?
The representatives from Ruidoso Vacation Rentals would like to present their case.
Okay. Well, this is a regular item. We're not set up for, this is a pass or no pass
The ordinance gives them the opportunity
Yeah.
to present. Okay, are they
They
here?
did last time.
Okay. Y'all want to let these guys come up? Hi there.
Mr. Mayor and Council, I'm Johnny Reed. I'm the current property, general manager at Ruidoso Vacation Rentals. And Stephanie LeBlanc is the client success manager and primary owner contact for the property in question.
Okay.
Okay, so I got together some evidence for you all to let
Okay.
you know that we, as a property management company, comply with the STR ordinance by making these flyers. We laminate them, we put them in the home for the guests to see. We also provide a guest portal for them online. They have access to all this information, including fire restrictions as well within the village. So the first round of pictures, we have the entrance to the home, where we do have our flyer stating that fire pits are prohibited, along with our permit. I did put together some pictures of the yard and the decks, tried to get it from every angle to show that we do not have a fire pit at this property. The owner, to my knowledge, since 2021 in program with us, has not had a fire pit, nor obtained an open fire pit before they were restricted by the STR ordinance. Also, let's see, I got under deck pictures as much as I could. Now, on one of these pages, there is a holder for firewood. That is what the guests did use for their fire pit. And apparently they brought their own fire pit as well, which was a gas fire pit. So they had a wood and a gas. After all the pictures, I do have a link is to our guest portal where we have our fire safety, and then we have our emergency contact and our office contact. After that, I do have some correspondence from the guests when we reached out to ask them if they did have these fire pits. And this is the response that we got from them. They said, yes, we did bring a fire pit and weren't aware that we couldn't use one on the property. The firefighters arrived and asked if we had a permit for the fire pit. And we did not. We were not aware that we had to pull a permit for this. The firefighter stated we had to put out the fire with water and waited until the burnt wood reached below 100 degrees. Firefighter said we weren't going to get fined, that it was just a warning. If they had to come back out to put out the fire, it would be a $500 fine. We did not light another fire and picked everything up to avoid any fines.
Could you elaborate, was the fire on the on the wood holder, or was it the fire pit?
We don't know. So I did call the fire department a couple times. I did speak with somebody. It wasn't the officer that reached out to us, though. The officer that reached out to us was a Mr. Ferguson. We had his name is Kyle Ferguson. I guess it got lost in translation. That was not his correct name, but the last name is Ferguson. He gave us a number. It was a cell phone number, and I tried to reach out to him numerous times and was not able to get in contact with him to get the information straight from him.
Do we have Kyle Ferguson?
Frierson.
Frierson,
He's
so we
newly
had-
promoted lieutenant
Okay.
out of Station 3, I think. Where'd y'all go?
Okay,
Two.
we did try getting in contact with him and were not able to.
Okay.
Then I did talk to somebody at the fire station. I let them know, hey, we got a call from you guys wanting guest information. We'd be happy to supply that for you if needed. Well, he said, yeah, I had to check first with our GM, make sure that we can get that information out. In this instance, she let me know that, yes, let's go ahead and give it to him. When I called the fire department back, I got a secretary, I believe. I don't know what her name was. I did tell her what I was calling for, and she said, we do not write citations. We don't need that information.
But evidently we do now. We did then too.
Yep, we did.
We just didn't, okay?
Okay, and then, so apparently this did happen on the 17th of January. We were not made aware right away about this. We actually first heard about it on Friday, January 23rd. I did hear it from the owner first. We do know the fire department did try calling our office. They got somebody at a different destination, and we got the message. So we then reached out that evening and were unable to get a hold of anybody. We then followed up on January 28th, and that is when I had conversations with the fire department and the secretary, and was trying to get them the guest information.
So it looks like to me, to answer your question, Councilor Corey, they brought their own fire pit. The guests did. That's what it says right here.
Well, I appreciate the signage. You're probably not aware of it. We had a identical issue, was it last month?
Yep.
Same thing, the signs were up, the property manager, or actually, I think that was self-managed, the property owner, had warned everybody. Our dilemma is ultimately the property owner has to be accountable. And, God forbid, a forest fire starts because an illegal fire pit's operated, the signage alone's not gonna mitigate that. This is an existing ordinance on the village's books, and as I stated last month, I've got zero tolerance for fire pits operating illegally.
You stated that the responder made contact with the tenant. Is that correct? So why was not a citation or identification asked for and a citation's given?
The books weren't present at the time for the citation to be written from the fire department. We didn't have the citation books at that time. And we were waiting for the police to be able to get there, but it took too long because they were on a different call. So they said that they would just go ahead and push it off and get the citation written at another time, because that's fine, because they had witnessed it and they told them that they would. She's not incorrect about the secretary not knowing she's been on vacation, so she doesn't know the ordinance change. The rest of it, though, is, I don't know, we did contact you guys several times, and nobody ever contacted us back.
I did call a couple of times. I do have her call
Chris
logs
Santi, I
here.
believe, called and said that you guys didn't have any information on the tenants.
No, we did have information on the tenants. I did ask that I get with my GM just to make sure I can go ahead and give that out. And then when I called back, the secretary was like, no, we don't take that information. We don't give citations. That goes to Ruidoso Police, is what she stated to me. And so I didn't call after that to give you guys that information, once I had heard that from her.
So is that 2 weeks later, or a week later, or how long was that? So the citation already been issued?
I believe so. But we reached out the night that we got the message from,
Property owner.
no, from the responding officer.
Frierson?
Yes, yes. And his number, we called that one that evening because in the email that we got, it did say he would like to hear back today so he can get the citation. So we did call that evening and we're not getting an answer from him. We did leave a voicemail.
Was
And I
Fryer,
left
And they're all
other
recorded.
voicemails.
All of our phone calls are recorded, so we can play those back and verify that they were done.
was Frierson the responding officer?
Yes, sir.
What is his rank?
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant? So he couldn't have written a citation at that time.
No, he couldn't have.
But, is there-
Before, he couldn't at that time, now he could.
Now he can, we just.
Before
passed
he
it.
couldn't have.
so
But the police officer came. No.
No.
No, they were
I
on
did
another
include
call.
the fire report that I received.
Yeah, it was mumble jumble.
Well, I think that he didn't ask for any type of identification from the tenant?
My understanding he did, but they said they didn't have any.
I didn't know you could do that.
Well, it looks like we're kind of in the same situation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where King Solomon's at, but he's not gonna be able to get a hold of us today, but I understand what you're saying, but it's, if you've got everything posted legally, it's almost like the Enterprise car that they're speeding around town, the officer pulls them over, doesn't get them a ticket, and then they call Enterprise and writes Enterprise a ticket. I mean, there's gotta be a mechanism now where when we show up, we write whoever's there a ticket right then. And I think, as bad as I'd say it, I think we were at fault there, had a deficit because we had a hole in our ordinance again that we just fixed. Last week or last month, we were discussing this whole thing about fixing that part of it because we've had too many calls that the time the police showed up, the fire's out.
But Mayor, the ordinance says if you have a fire pit and you're a short-term rental, there's a big possibility that you're not going to have a license. And we just tend to just kind of,
The guest brought it. We don't have.
The ordinance doesn't distinguish between the guest or the owner.
no.
I understand that. Mayor and council, if there is any other recommendations that you can have to help us with short-term rentals, had we been notified, those guests would have been evicted. We did not find out about it until the 23rd. So communication, I think the village has knowledge that we are the property manager. All the neighbors are notified so that they can contact us, and we're available 24/7. Something happened. We never found out.
Alex, so how does that get, I mean,
Victim.
I thought that we said that when there was a call, that we were going to call this number and that we would be, then that, the property managers would have 30 minutes to respond.
Right, so I'm going to ask Chief Minner to help me out with this response as well. So when someone calls dispatch, we handle it that way. And the direction from dispatch at that point is they will take the call, particularly if it is a situation where fire or any other kind of emergency is involved, make sure that our response is done, and then is the directive then for the caller to then call the Deckard line, or are we taking care of that?
Did we do that?
We're taking care of it. We made that clear last time.
Well, I think in this instance, this had happened before we had had that conversation. And so, because this was January 17th, and I think we were still in the middle of that conversation. And the directive to our dispatch has now been that if they get a call, they're going to dispatch fire and PD to go respond and deal with the incident at hand. They're also going to request that the homeowner then give them the Deckard number and then have them call to give them the address so they can see whether or not, they can get the owner over there. And then when we get there, we'll document everything on our end of it, and then backtrack again and see if we can if we determine that it is a short-term rental, go back and get the information back to.
Chief, we had that discussion on January 13th. And
Well,
this
and I
is
think-
I mean, that's a Tuesday, and then this happened on Saturday.
Okay, so yeah, I think it was right after that then.
So I guess my question is why didn't the dispatch contact this hot number?
And I would have to look into the call log and see if they didn't give that information. I don't know if they did or did not.
All I want to say is that I think that this is important, and when we give a directive, I think that it's a directive and it needs to be done. And I'm pretty disappointed. I really am, because we had this discussion and I didn't think that there was any hiccups about it. We discussed it a lot that day on the 13th.
So is it like that after the council made the decision on the 13th that it wasn't implemented and it wasn't clear to all the dispatch what the new ordinance and what everything was, how it was supposed to be handled?
It's very possible. I know I had a conversation with Katie as soon as we had that, after our discussion, and told her that the direction was that we were going to research and see if they were STRs. If they were, to try and get a hold of Deckard and have that information given to them, so to give the property owners or whoever was responsible an opportunity to show up.
But we don't know that that's happened even.
I don't know if it had happened at that point in time. I know that's the direction that they're doing now, for sure.
Yes, sir, Chief.
Just one thing, even if that was what had happened and they showed up, the fire was already there, so does the ordinance change?
No.
No.
Okay.
Not at all. I'm just trying to, I guess it's almost the inherent risk you have if you have a short-term rental and you have somebody that brings their own fire pit and puts it on there. And so then what you're saying is the rules are the rule, and I just think that, I don't know how it would have been nice if we'd have handed that person a $500 ticket.
Exactly.
And then we'd have made that known. We'd have called the newspaper and had them say, $500 ticket issued, don't bring your fire pit. But that didn't happen.
And you're indicating it wasn't just a fire pit.
They
The
took,
fire department said,
this is what we
you
found.
see the picture of the little tray?
Right,
It
yeah.
looks like it's all burnt. It looks
Yeah.
like it's all bubbled
Yeah.
up. They took it out of the house and must be.
What's your firewood?
They made
That was
makeshift their
the
own
wood
fire.
deal. They
Wood
put
for the
it in
fireplace.
wood.
And there is a wood fireplace
Yeah.
there.
There is a wood burner.
So they didn't even bring their
They,
own.
they also put
And
it.
it says there's a gas burning fire pit.
Yeah, they made a makeshift one with wood in the wood holder, and then they brought their own gas fire.
Did y'all charge them back for the damage to the?
It was, we have to do it within 24 hours, and we weren't even aware.
Who's
that
your
they-
inspector? I know, but whoever cleans your houses, that's their responsibility.
Yeah, they had put it in the garage.
Okay, because I've had short-term rentals before, and they would call and tell me, all your towels are,
Right.
I don't know what they mopped up, but you can't use them anymore. But you can also, it's up to 365 days. So it's a difficult situation, because around here, what we've said is if we don't enforce ordinances, we get rid of them, and then we just may address this one, and it seems like we had a breakdown, a hole in our, and somebody stopped me if I'm wrong, that we didn't go through with, and I know we have a lot of moving pieces on our end that we're trying to get done.
We are, but Mayor, as you know, the ordinance is the ordinance. It doesn't speak to.
So should the person that was there that wrote that set the fire, they should have got a ticket, and then the owner get a ticket too? And vacated 365 days up to?
Yes.
So Okay.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice if the tenants got the fine, and then we were supposed to contact the vacation place so that we could get things, so that they would know.
Well, and as all of you are aware, I said it last month, we walk a fine line between accommodating short-term rentals and serving the needs of our community. And this ordinance was a step towards trying to make that balance.
I agree.
Flawed though it may be.
I'm kind of disappointed that the tenant didn't get a ticket because or a citation. I was pretty adamant last time this came up that the tenant, they're the ones who committed the offense as far as the fire pit went with restrictions. They can always say that they didn't know, but if you've got it posted, you've got it in your listing. They should have been at least cited because it's a tenant that
has the authority to write tickets.
I mean, how do you get to, well, I don't have my ID, I don't have this and that and the other thing, and
That's why we
kind of skate. They can always come back and do it again.
So, Counselor Eby, if they had been cited,
Somebody has to see it.
Well, that goes on to,
would you waive then the revocation of the?
no, I'm just pointing out different areas that I see that didn't happen and also that maybe we need to look at. I see that there are mitigating circumstances that do happen. And as a homeowner, you do everything you can to protect your property and to follow the ordinances or the rules put in place. There are some things out of your control. Not everybody's going to obey the law. And that's why I believe it's a good thing that it does come to the council to approve the revocation or not to. And so that we could discuss. As you stated, Councilor Corey, that flawed though it may be, well, what are the flaws? Are there flaws that maybe we need to look at? Are there aspects of the ordinance that we need to look at? I know that you all acted in good faith. I believe you did. And that you had a tenant come in that paid no attention to, and you're going to have people like that. I've had people like that too. They've left messes and all kinds of stuff. You see, golly, I mean, it's not your home. You should treat it as such. But you get tenants like that. I know that that's what the ordinance reads. Maybe we need to rediscuss. I don't know where we go from as far as that. When this ordinance was passed, we were definitely looking at the fire safety and the safety of the community. To me, they've done everything they can, and I think we just need to look at it more. Now, if they had been, let's just say, lapse in their responsibilities, then yes, for sure. That would be my view. But in this particular case, I voted no last time. I just think they've done everything they can. And it's being a little harsh on the homeowner.
Well, I'm just disappointed because it just seems like every time we have an ordinance, it's not, I mean, why do we sit up here and make ordinances when we don't follow things?
Okay, call the question and make a motion.
I move
Just get it on.
I move that we revocate the short-term rental permit issued to Gray Autumn LLC at 149 Willie Horton Drive due to the illegal use of a fire pit or outdoor burning reported to village or third-party monitoring agency and confirmed by the village.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Do you want to discuss length it's up to? You want to put that in there? You want to discuss that later in case it passes? Okay. Okay, roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
No.
Counselor Salas?
Nope.
Counselor Eby?
No.
Mayor Crawford?
No.
Deja vu all over again.
It was.
So what we've got to do, so everything, again, but we've got to be more proactive about this, so we'll have to work on our end on it too. Because I'm understanding we've got to either enforce these ordinances or not, but it just, it seems like that, I think the perpetrator should be the one held responsible. And maybe we need to relook at the wording on that ordinance.
I agree.
I just know that, I had some people, when I had mine, my short-term rental, that wrote a complaint against them. And so they had their cousin come rent it, and they trashed me even harder. And so if you want to get rid of somebody, they can do it. And it's a tough business. Everybody thinks it's easy. It's not. Is it, Angie? So anyway, y'all understand the situation and what we're going through, and these guys are trying to do the job, and I know the chiefs are pissed off at me now, y'all, me, the ones that voted no. But we'll have to move forward with this and move on.
I do appreciate, you seem like that you're a very reputable company and everything's in order, and I do appreciate that.
Thank you. And we are happy to volunteer our time too to help with decision-making in that, if there's a committee as a.
And we've had them.
management.
Yeah, we've had committees, and we thought we got to it, but, yeah.
Okay,
So,
great, that sounds great.
Yep.
Mayor?
We're on your side.
Yes, sir.
The way the ordinance is written, if you guys don't take action, the revocation stands for 90 days. So if you want to reverse the revocation, you need to take action today in the form of a motion to reverse the determination to revoke the permit.
I thought we just did.
You just voted no to revoke the permit.
Okay.
So if there's a motion
Yeah, we have
to
to-
reverse the decision to revoke.
Okay. So can I get a motion to revoke,
To reverse the
to
decision
reverse the
revoke.
revocation, the 90-day revocation?
I'll make a motion to reverse the 90-day revocation.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
No.
Counselor Jackson?
No.
Counselor Letterman?
No.
Counselor Hooker?
Yes.
Mayor Crawford?
Yes. Was that even
Voted
again?
no last time.
Oh, no, well, I thought we were, maybe I'm confused. You're voting to revoke
We'll
it.
vote.
To reverse the decision to revoke.
So you would be yes?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, I would be
You're correct,
yes.
yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
to hold it up that they're free to, because if we voted like no the last time, then we turn around and didn't vote for that, then it still stands?
For 90 days.
Yes, I voted right.
You did.
So Alex,
Man.
if you could put this, Alex, if you could put this on your conversations with the short-term rentals
Oh, certainly.
management companies.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
I mean, this is very difficult, and it makes us look wishy-washy, and that's not what we're trying to do. But we want to penalize the ones that are breaking the rules, not the ones that are trying to help make it safe, so, anyway. All right, regular item number 2. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, everybody. Discussion and possible action on biennial memorandum of understanding between the New Mexico Main Street Program, Village of Ruidoso, and Ruidoso Midtown Association dedicated collaborative resources, adopt local economic growth and revitalization tools, and establish economic development funding for operations and program implementation to restore economic vitality within the Main Street Economic Development Redevelopment District from July 1, 2026 to June 30th, 2028. Good morning, boys. Or afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I've been the Ruidoso liaison for Ruidoso Midtown Association for about 2.5 years now. And it's been a pleasure working with Tim over the last year. He's done a great job helping be a great communicator with local businesses and helping bringing in economic growth through events and collaborations. I'll give it to Tim now.
Would you please pronounce your last name, sir?
Duckworth.
I heard you quack the last time you said that.
It's like, how much is a duck worth?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've been here for over a year now. I've worked closely with the businesses, got to know them, built this great relationship with them. Most are very easy to work with, and they're really good people. And they're trying hard, and they have struggled the past year and the year before that. Also with that, we've made some great relationships with the village and also Parks and Recreation. The Chamber and RMA are very strong. We work very closely together, and I'm glad that that's happening because we all look for the same thing. We want our businesses to succeed in Midtown and outside. So now we can reach broader. We're also working with the Humane Society and building a relationship with them. In fact, our first event this year will be on May 2nd at Wingfield Park. It's called the Wag Fest and an ice cream crank-off. And so what this is to actually, everyone comes in, brings their dogs. There's, on the flyer when it goes out, you'll see what the themes are, and you can dress up your dog, yourself, and they do a dog parade. And they'll go around, and we have several different judges that will judge the different categories. After that, there's an ice cream crank-off that is open to the public. And then we'll do People's Choice judging, and people will pay $10 to come in and eat all the little tastings they want, and they get to actually judge what ice cream they like the best. So we're really looking forward to that because this is really community-based, and we're going to do outreach to other surrounding communities, Hondo, Thule, Zozo, all those areas. And so we're really having a lot of fun with that. We actually met today at Wingfield about where we're going to set everything up and where the parade's going to go and the ropes and all that. Also, we've got Ruidoso coming back. We're going to do it earlier before the monsoon. And it's going to be bigger and better. If you don't know what Ruidoso is, it's a craft beer event and wine and distilleries from New Mexico only. And so we bring it to one area with bands. There's going to be some fun events like, I got laughed at about it, but about bull riding, and then rock climbing, and then little bungee jumps for kids. Mm-hmm. They like to go up and down for hours. So we got that for them. And then later on, we've got the almighty Midtown Halloween, which is a favorite for the community and surrounding communities, bringing everyone into Midtown to trick or treat. We also do business mixers where we get all the businesses together, and we're actually going to team up with the chamber so we can get more participation in that, so people can mingle and talk and get to know each other. We do giveaways, we do all kinds of fun stuff. Another big one that I'm really excited about, and we're working pretty hard right now, is with Xterra. I mean, Xterra is unbelievable. I mean, they're just a great group of people who came in with their event, but they want it to be like our event. And so we're working close with them to get businesses involved. And so that's what we got going on right now. Do y'all have any questions or anything? I mean, it's busy. This year has been real busy, especially trying to subsidize, for the loss of the track this year. We're doing bigger and better things.
And you move the Ruidoso date?
We did, it's it's June 20th.
June 20th.
Last time it was in August, and it was during the flooding, so it overshadowed all of our marketing. No one cared. It rained like crazy twice that day. It was not good. So this time we decided we're going to try to get ahead of the monsoon when it's really nice. And our advertising is going out to North Texas, my fellow Plano guy over here. It's going to be in all those areas in Dallas. It's going down into El Paso. We're teaming up with Alamogordo Main Street and Las Cruces Main Street, where we're going to start sharing information about events, so we all know what's going on. So that's going to happen as well. So
And you got approved by lodger's tax this morning?
did this morning, yeah, that was great.
Did you already talk about the June 6th event? Can you talk about that? Wasn't it approved?
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about it.
But that's not Main Street?
No.
No, it's not.
Okay, then never mind, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm hoping to work with them.
Oh, my
So
gosh.
I'm excited about that. But you know what, I mean, it's a great deal.
Yeah, it was a good deal.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead and talk about it real quick, since I messed up.
We were approved today to do the Dodes
Someone use your
diving
real
league
voice,
event.
not to Scully.
No, we got approved today to do the Dodes diving event. So it's happening, and we're going to have people coming in from all around the world on June 6th to jump off a giant platform off of Grindstones Dam into a belly flop. That will be televised to 70 million people on ESPN.
First one.
Yeah.
There's one of two events only in the U.S., and the rest are all international. Bring about 3,000
Good
people
luck
here.
with Mr. Head over there, manager.
So
James
that-
Head is the Dam Safety Bureau guy.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay,
well,
that's
that's
what
it.
I was gonna ask the Dam Safety Bureau.
I thought they already
It
approved
must have been the Dam
Well,
Safety.
they approved the
Bureau.
money and everything for it. So there's ways to build it.
Yeah, well, we're going to work with them as well. So, I mean, and for this event, it's great for Midtown and all of Ruidoso because their average first year is about 3,000. Then it goes to 6, 7, 8. So, I mean, once word gets out, people are going to be flocking here. So,
Started in
So,
Norway.
could I ask a
Will
question on that?
EMS be on duty?
And is the hospital so appraised? Especially the emergency department?
yeah, I'm sure Kate is real excited.
So Eddie, who's gonna be building the platform and what happens to the platform after this year?
We're working with the group that does all the exterior events, Renegade. They've given us a great schematic of their idea as far as structurally having its sound. And what we'll do is we're going to have graphics all around it that we'll reuse every year. But once the scaffolding is set up, it will be broken down. It takes 2 days to set up, 2 days to tear down. And then we'll just reuse it every year and have them come in and build it.
Is that what lodger's tax is paying?
They are.
Okay.
Yep.
And the county pledged.
Yes, we had support with the county manager today. We're also doing the Ruidoso Film Festival. So they approved that today as well.
Congratulations.
Some good
what
events.
date is that? You haven't come up with a date.
February, we'll have the,
27.
Oh, 27.
I apologize, Mayor, it's the Spencer, it'll be February 20th will be the red carpet event at Spencer Theater. And they'll have a big giant star hosting it.
Oh, that's neat.
We fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, great job and all that. So on the ice cream crank-off deal, you do it out at the park or you bring it
We're gonna
already
do it at the
made?
park. Well, we're bringing it to the park. You have to bring your ingredients. We're working with Cisco to help out with rock salt, because you're going to need that. It can be manual or power.
Are you going to provide power?
Yeah. Well, the park is.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and it's a free event. It's free to be a part of it. Now, you're going to have your food handler's license, because that's just, that's a state law. And so, and anyone, businesses, high schools, we're going to send it out to all the high schools, all the superintendents for them to approve. and sell it at the schools and all the surrounding cities and villages.
I'm glad you mentioned the food handler's license. So
Yeah, it's very important. It's on the contract, or the registration.
When is this again?
It's going to be May 2nd.
May 2nd, okay,
Yeah, I think it's 12 to 3, so.
okay.
Are you gonna have to get a permit from the environmental department?
Yeah, that's a food.
well, that'll be the food handler's
That's a-
permit,
Okay.
but you're not causing them to have a permit for anything else.
No. Now, if you're a business, you probably have to use your business permit. You know, if Sabord decides to do it, then they're going to have that. But, you know, all that's really kind of tied in anyways. They have to have that period just to be open, so. Yeah, so it's going to be fun, and we're looking forward to it. It's just, it's our first year. So this is a dog-loving community. I mean, there's no question. So it's going to be nice to see.
Isn't that right?
So, yeah. So,
Because if you can vote and run for any office anywhere in the state, then I think a dog will be the mayor before long.
there's a goat somewhere.
Yeah, there was a goat in Terlingua, wasn't there?
Yeah, that's right. So,
Well, that looks really good. So go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the biennial memorandum of understanding between New Mexico Main Street Program, Village of Ruidoso, and Ruidoso Midtown Association to dedicate collaborative resources, adopt local economic growth and revitalization tools, and establish economic development funding for operations and program implementation to
Second.
restore economic vitality within the Main Street Economic Redevelopment District from July 1, 2026 through June 30th, 2028.
I apologize, second.
We have any other discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
Counselor Letterman.
Aye.
Counselor Eby.
Aye.
Counselor Salas.
Aye.
Counselor Jackson.
Aye.
Counselor Corey.
Aye. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.
I always
Thanks
enjoy
a lot for all
y'all's
Thank you
do,
very much.
both of
Y'all
you.
do a great job. Item number 3, discussion and possible action on adoption of Resolution 2026-09, a resolution of support and commitment to the funding of the 2027 New Mexico Department of Transportation, New Mexico DOT Municipal Arterial Funding MAP Program in the amount of $368,330.00. Josh, it's good to see you.
Yes, sir, Mayor, Council.
Let me see, those boots still look new. Since he's got promoted, he hadn't been in the dirt at all.
That was a rough one. This is our annual MAP program that we put in for, that we talked about last week. It's coming in this week. Our roads for the MAP program are going to include Terrace Drive, Lower Terrace, Upper Terrace, Course View, and Rainbow for our MAP program.
And is this because it has to begin in a
It has
highway and
highway
end-
to highway,
Yeah,
yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, I listen.
Yeah. Any questions?
No.
Make a motion.
Go ahead.
Make a motion to approve the resolution 2026-09, a resolution of support and commitment to the funding of the 2027 New Mexico Department of Transportation Municipal Arterial Funding Program in the amount of $368,330.
Second. Any final discussion? Okay, roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
Counselor Corey.
Aye.
Counselor Jackson.
Aye.
Counselor Salas.
Aye.
Counselor Letterman.
Aye.
And Counselor Eby.
Good job on getting the funding. Thank you. Item number 4, discussion and possible action on adoption of Resolution 2026-10, a resolution in support and commitment to the funding of the 2027 New Mexico Department of Transportation MDOT Cooperative Co-op Program, funding in the amount of $421,044.00.
Yes, sir, Mayor, Council. This is our annual co-op project again. The areas that we were going to be in is going to be Sunny Slope Court, Slate Court, Marble Drive, Marble Court, and Cold Drive.
Okay, would you tell us again how you came up with those streets, please?
These roads are the main thoroughfares for, say, in that area of the subdivision. And so we can use that for the main thoroughfares and the side streets of those thoroughfares.
That's what the co-op grant
Yes, sir.
amends, yes. Okay,
Mayor, I move that we adopt Resolution 2026-10, a resolution in support and commitment to the funding of the 2027 New Mexico Department of Transportation NMDOT Cooperative Funding Program in the amount of $421,044.
Second.
any discussion?
Oh, just one, Mr. Mayor. Josh, just for those in Radio Land, is there a prohibition against going into those streets within a certain time period for repair and replacement?
Repeat the first part of
Yeah,
that?
I didn't follow you either.
Oh, just to repeat, once you've accepted this and you're into the repair section, those that are eligible, is there a time lapse from which they can be repaired, but where you can come back and do another paving or repair? Just so people understand how these lists generate and why there are
That's
lapses.
a good question. You lost me for a minute, but yeah, I'm with you now. That's good.
Yes, sir, Counselor Jackson. On those, when we put in for our co-op and our MAP projects, and it applies to both of them, there is a 10-year gap there that we can apply for these grants again in that area.
And does that then also create a program for you down the road about those that are coming up for renewal, which may be eligible, and for those who may be in bad shape but are not eligible?
Yes, sir. We actually have all of our maps and co-ops on file, and we go through them, and as they come back available in the areas that we need, we can look at that and be able to go back into those areas.
Thank you, Josh.
But then again, Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you just, we're collecting taxes. Why don't you just go fix the roads that need to be fixed?
With the MAP and co-op project, they're grant funded, and like I said, the MAP project has to connect a highway to a highway and the roads in that area. And the co-op is off of, main thoroughfares. So with that, there is areas that we can go back into and start looking into certain areas that we can start doing, but it's all grant funded and it has to be.
What's the average cost for, say, let's just do half a mile to fix it, relay it, swag?
That's gonna depend on, if you're just going back and overlaying it, for us, that would be, I would have to do the math on it. I don't have the numbers in my head.
So what are
right
we
now
doing
for
here?
it.
Are we doing a clarification, then overlay, or what are we doing?
Mayor, council overlay. And we had talked about this last time.
Yeah, I thought it was
what,
$1 million.
Roughly 500,000 a mile.
Okay.
So 250,000 for a half a mile for an overlay.
Got it.
Cutler. We can do it for a little bit cheaper in-house, but that's dependent on everything working, so.
And that's why we don't go around doing a lot of paving when we know that it needs to be done.
Thank you.
And with this, that would be a level course underneath the overlay.
So
as
they do
well.
that patching and stuff
We go
underneath the
through and
level?
patch and everything first before we overlay it.
Thank you.
Okay. So what you're saying is, to be direct on his answers, you just don't have the money in your budget to start paving every morning until dark.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Mayor, Josh, how many miles of road are there in Ruidoso?
There's over 300 miles of paved road and over 100 miles of base course or dirt road.
Dirt road, thank you.
So do we pave dirt roads?
No, sir. That's something I was actually looking at earlier, that if it was to be done through the ordinance, then over 80% of the people that live on that have to petition it,
Yeah.
bring it to council. Council has to approve it, and it would be paid for by them.
Yep.
Okay, and because we get that question, a lot of people move on gravel roads, dirt roads, and they want to know when they're getting it paved. There was a gentleman there last night that said he's been living on the street 26 years and it's never got paved. And it's because if it's not paved. But now when we take things into the village, if we do that, then there's certain requirements that we have.
That has to be done, yes, sir. Everything has to be put into
sewer line size, water size, paving and
Right.
all that,
Yes,
street
sir.
width.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Well, we're excited about that.
I don't think we voted.
Did we not vote? Okay, I was talking
And
during the
discussion, and
discussion.
now we're gonna
I was having my own discussion. Okay, roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks a lot, Josh.
You got one more discussion and possible action on task order number 2026-001P-02 with Bohannon Houston, Inc. for professional engineering services on flood damaged infrastructure, including McDaniel Bridge, Main Road 2 Bridge, North Loop Bridge, Sleepy Hollow Bridge, River Trail Bridge, Robin Road Bridge, in the amount of $3,337,221.25, including New Mexico GRT. And this is just engineering?
Mayor, council, so these are the bridges, the 6 legacy bridges from 2008. This will be, the first step is, this is a proposal from Bohannon Houston to do the engineering on these 6 bridges. Yes, sir, this is just engineering. Has been approved by FEMA to do the contact bridges like, what is that, Close Road, Main Road, Bridge 1, Eagle.
An Eagle. All right. Hello,
And what
good
do
to
you
see you.
What do you
Likewise,
mean
thank
by
you.
contact bridges?
They're like the ones at Main Road Bridge, oh, you want him to explain it?
No, that's what I wanted to make sure that things are going to be able to go
Yeah,
under
because the previous ones were
the box.
the box culverts, and now we're back, okay,
Yes,
Thank you.
correct.
Thank you.
okay. Go right ahead.
So, yeah, like Levi said, these are the legacy bridges from the flood damage from 2008. We were previously contracted with the village and a teaming partner to redesign these bridge crossings about 2-3 years ago. Those went to final design, and then the monsoon season of 2024 hit and literally changed the landscape. And so it brought the need to fully redesign these locations and to consider the pipe arch systems. And so that's where we're at now. We'll have to resurvey the area, resurvey utilities. We're gonna have to do environmental clearances, so it's kind of the whole 9 yards. So there's a lot of work.
So
Here's the obvious question, go ahead.
is there a possibility that we do this $3 million worth of work and come July, we have floods again? Is that null and void all of the work that's been done?
I don't know if it's going to be null and void. The cascading effect, right, is a potential issue. Fortunately, I think that, we would be able to design the bridges within a year. The thing that's going to take the most amount of time, and it's kind of in flux, is the right-of-way acquisition if it's needed.
Yeah,
So
okay.
there's a lot of parts and pieces that go into it.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I cry?
You wasn't a guarantee.
Don't cry.
Okay, so what you're saying is the right-of-ways and all that stuff will get us through this monsoon season. And then the design will be going on, and so it's not gonna happen before this monsoon season. You're not gonna be concluded, so you may have to go back and
Okay.
do some adjustments.
Correct, yeah,
Okay.
if it is further damaged, we may have to do an amendment to go out and resurvey the topography, and assess if we have to redesign any aspects of each crossing.
So these are the bridges that were approved by FEMA, that the money was sent to the state, we found out, and then we've been fighting with the state ever since, this is since 2008. And we finally got approval from DHSEM 2 weeks ago, or whatever, with Ron's constant nagging. And, well, they were like, we're tired of listening, so they did it.
And that's the state,
DHSEM.
And Mayor and Council, we do have some representatives from DHSCM sitting in the back there. They're going to be with us, I believe, from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And Dr. Jeremy is the one that has assigned them here, so.
What are y'all supposed to be doing, sneaking around, or? I don't even know what the one guy looks like. Are you with ICE? Is that the issue? Oh, there he is. Okay, he looks like a little Gene Simmons. That's awesome. So what, you guys, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, so we're here to push the project forward and provide any support that we can. We're under pressure by FEMA.
Well, yeah, I bet you are.
Yeah, we don't know what politically is happening with FEMA.
Yep.
There's a lot of fluctuations. But this is really important that we get this through at this moment in this approval because FEMA is putting pressure on us, and if it doesn't go through, it could possibly jeopardize future funding from the.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. What's your name?
My name's Dawson Delafield. I'm a recovery coordinator with DHSCI.
And this is?
I'm Nathan Rivers, I'm also a recovery coordinator.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
All right,
Yeah.
good. Any other questions or?
I've got one question. Are you going to be putting or classifying these bridges in a priority sequence? Like say this bridge should take priority to be put in first and so on?
We certainly can take that approach, and we'd probably rely on the village to tell us which priorities you guys want us to do first.
Thank you.
Mayor, council, yes, sir. That'll be something we'll be working through, especially with some of these that only have one way in, one way out.
Yep.
You know, providing access and the logistics of that will definitely be something we'll work through.
That Main Road 2 is going to be pretty tough.
Yes, sir.
Yep,
Yeah, it's going to be.
because
pretty
that's a lot of that's going to have a property.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get some RO or pay somebody to let us temporarily use their spot for something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, motion, please.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve task order 2026-001PO or 02 with Bohannon Houston, Inc. for professional engineering services as defined in the task order.
Second.
Discussion?
I just want to say thanks to your team and for sitting here all day and I'm sure
Yes.
you've had entertainment, education.
Yes, thank you.
Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
And Counselor Eby?
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we move into closed session. If I can get a motion to move into closed session.
Mr. Mayor, move that we move into closed session for discussion of limited personnel matters concerning contract for village manager and citing 1015-1H2 NMSA 1978. Further discussion subject to the attorney-client privilege pertaining to threatened or pending litigation in which the Village of Ruidoso is or may become a participant, citing 1015-1H7 NMSA 1978. Finally, discussion of the purchase, acquisition, and/or disposal of real property and/or water rights by the Village of Ruidoso, citing 1015-1H8 MSA 1978. Any action taken as a result of the closed session will be brought back into the open session, and I so move.
Second.
Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
And Counselor Corey?
All right, thank you. Okay, do we need anybody in there, Ron?
We need Chief Hall, and then I'm going to call it Chief Hall,
Okay.
Oh.
and then I'm going to have